This program is rated MA. It contains adult themes, coarse language, sexual references, and violence.
Oh. It's Open Comms. It's Friday. Welcome. Oh, man.
And we have random pictures on the screen because God forbid Raven fix the shit before we go live.
This is why they put me in this position. Open Comms, I'm here. Dirk is not here, but we got Brisk, we got Rain, we got LB, Blazing Bunny's back, and Manic's joining us. How's it going, man?
Hi.
All right.
I'm Manic.
Are you drinking Manic?
I'm drinking Pinot Grigio.
Oh,
Delicious.
I'm drinking blueberry wine.
All
That's
right.
a thing.
Hobo wine?
I feel like I'm the only one taking this
It
seriously.
sounds like hobo wine.
I'm trying.
Bunny's always the only one taking it serious.
What are we taking serious?
But
I'm gonna be
drinking.
shithouse by the time this is over.
perfect. Anyway, so we're gonna start it off right off the bat. It's been 3 years now, but we have hit the anniversary of BC passing away. It's always right after Vegas when we come up to this thing. So, you know, we're gonna roll a shot out for him. That's what this picture was for. Dirk and his wife are out at the bar, and they got some shots poured for BC as well. So we're gonna throw a shout out to the big guy. Miss you, man.
Shots.
The show wouldn't be what it is without Big Country. We miss him.
It wouldn't even exist. He's the one that made it in the first place. He's the creator of the show. He ran it for a good 5
Everybody
years.
gives Dirk credit for that, but it wasn't. It was BC.
No, it was literally named the DJ
It was
the Big Country
Show.
It was the
Show.
DJ Big
Yeah.
Country
Yeah.
show back when we were on Eve Radio.
I used to listen to it on Eve Radio.
Yeah, and Dirk came on pretty soon after. They had I forget some of the other guys. I know they had Beta and a couple other. That's like the old guard, and then I guess I came in somewhat. I think I was about 8 months to a year after they started is when I came in. But when I came in, it was BC, Dirk, Beta, and I can't remember his name. It was the guy that would always just randomly disappear because he was in some kind of special forces group, and so he would just randomly
Canadian?
disappear.
Oh, wait.
No, not Drunk Canadian. He would just randomly disappear without
That
word,
LB guy.
and he would be gone for like 8 months, and then he'd just come back. It's like, all right, so what terrorist cell did you knock out, dude?
Was it that LB guy?
No, it wasn't LB.
No.
A different How many Special Forces guys do we have on this show?
It attracts a special type of man. So
I'm impressed.
The show does?
I don't know. I'm just making
Everybody
sure.
on the show can kill you like 15 different ways with a pencil.
Yeah, except like Drayden and me and Dirk.
No,
And
sure.
you,
me.
Brisk.
I would have somebody do it. I wouldn't
Brisk
do it
can
myself.
kill you the way the Clintons do, Doug.
Exactly.
Suicide with
I'll
2
suicide
bullets in
your
the
ass.
head.
Oops.
That's kind of like how Jeffrey Epstein or whatever the fuck his name is.
Epstein. Oh god, that
I love those
Epstein didn't
memes.
kill himself.
Jeffrey, I'm a
Oh,
pedophile.
God, it
because
was
he's
pretty
fucking
good.
was a
That-
pedo
I
rape.
just-
Are we actually going to talk
instantly-
about this?
Epstein. Yeah, why
No,
not?
let's-
Mainstream media
let's not
isn't.
go into
So we are the
Epstein.
new
I think it's
Fox
dumb.
News.
No, we won't go into Epstein, but I do apologize for that picture because that just instantly turned that channel into NSFW like right away.
It was
Wait,
fantastic,
what
and you
channel?
know
What
it.
That
channel,
was fun.
Oh, the Jaeger Photobomb channel.
Where's that channel at?
Oh, that's in the Open Comms Discord.
That is in the
The
brand
super
new
elite
Open
private-
Comms Discord.
I'm assuming we need a link now. Do you have a link ready,
Hold up,
Rain?
hold up. Yeah, I'm making
No,
it.
don't
Expires
let
never.
everybody in.
No, we
this is
should
ours.
let-
It's alright. There'll
No,
be
you
white
gotta
shirts.
let
There'll be white shirts,
The
man.
first people who come in.
If you are at the top of the show, you're an actual fan, and that means you should be in our Discord.
The kid, thanks for the resub 11 months, man. But yeah, so Rain will throw that link out into the chat.
Oh,
We
am
do-
I don't think I'm permitted.
Oh, fuck.
I know
The
I'm not. I
moderation
find out every
policy
time.
is obviously don't use
X up in
slurs
chat real
and
quick,
don't
Rain.
link porn.
And do not attack Dirk, because then you will be moderated for tone.
There, now you can link it.
That's right.
Yeah, join that
It's a pro
Discord.
Dirk.
All right,
Discord.
there's the actual Open
no
Comms Discord. We
negativity.
finally buckled.
There'll be
and we
no
finally did it.
negativity about Dirk. And sadly, he couldn't join us tonight, so we're going to have to be nice to him in absentia.
In what?
He's at the bar.
Yeah,
He's not hanging out
Latin.
with us tonight.
Like,
He's
No,
in
that's not weird.
absentia.
it's a boomer
It's
term,
Latin.
right? It's in
It
absentia.
is not a boomer term. It is an educated human being term.
Nah, it's old person.
Okay, boomer.
Yeah,
Oh,
no, in
God.
absentia is when they're
I used that
missing.
on Twitter today,
In
by
the
the way. It was
absence
pretty funny.
of.
You didn't respond to my tweet. I added you about
Not to
something political.
you. I totally said that to somebody else.
Yeah, I like posting on your Twitter. Oh, sorry,
there was
Giovanna.
Well, I have to say, like, there's a couple of quick things that we're gonna go into before we move on to. I know everyone's wanting to know about the Falcon thing, but we'll get to that. But real quick, it was Equalizer's birthday a few days ago, so I want to say happy birthday, Equalizer, and also just
Drinks?
again,
Shots.
I'm gonna take I
I
got
have a new
vodka
shot
Red Bull.
tone. Here, hold on.
Oh man, look at that
There you
nice
go.
What
copyright
happened to
free.
the shot light
soundboard.
that I made
We
for
got in
you,
a little
Drayden?
YouTube trouble.
We can't use that
Apparently
because
it's
busted.
on YouTube.
we got busted for
Copyright
copyright stuff, so we can't have Lil Jon on there.
What a
But no,
Yeah.
so
bunch
back to
of
equalizers.
BS.
So
All right.
EQ
I want to say, before you guys get any farther, for the
I
people
want
in
to
the
talk
chat,
about EQ. No, can we talk
I
about EQ?
am not a boomer. I was born
Whatever,
in
boomer.
1977. I
Okay,
am
boomer.
solidly
Something-
Gen X.
Something a
That's
boomer
what a
would say.
boomer
Only
would say.
boomers are in
Period.
politics.
Boomer is
Brisk.
so boomer
That's totally
is
what a
not
boomer
gener-
would say.
When we say
Boomers
okay,
are born in the
boomer,
60s
when
and
we say
before.
okay boomer, we're not talking about when you were born.
Hey, Brisk.
We're talking about your mentality
Yeah.
and your outlook on life.
Hey, Brisk, have you been in the White House?
Yes.
Were you there because you won the Super Bowl?
No.
Then you're a boomer.
That
It's
is
only
not
people
true.
that are- It's the only people that go in there that don't win Super Bowls, dude.
That is not true. My kid's been there, and he's Gen Z or whatever the hell the
He's a
9-year-olds are
zoomer.
this
Your
year.
kid's a zoomer.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, anyway, back to equalizers. So equalizers, for those who are unaware, EQ is the dude who runs literally all of the behind-the-scenes stuff of Streamfleet. So we all know
He
of
does
Moses.
the sound, right?
Yeah, no, he does everything. All the
Does
streaming
everything.
stuff. So
Everything?
Moses and Raiden do a lot of like the coordination, the organizing, like setting up the cameras, making sure everything's good to go.
Sound
He
stuff.
runs it all behind the scenes. So that everything's shifting. If something breaks,
He's
he
the
fixes
producer.
it. Yeah, the producer, the director, whatever the fuck. He does all the behind the scenes stuff. So when you're like watching a stream, like part of like that is some dude aiming the camera, and then the rest is equalizers. So all the stuff you've seen from Streamfleet, all the stuff you've seen from like the Invasion World Tour has been like Raiden and Moses, and then a lot of other volunteers. But majority of it was EQ. So major props to him. Like he never shows up on camera because he's always the one running the cameras, like all the stream stuff. So that's why we're giving him a huge shout out.
Yeah, and he was the one also doing all that for us in Vegas for our show there. So I want to just say thanks again to him for that. We got a couple of things. Eve Scout. Now, Rain, you know more about this than I do. The Dev Jam 2019 Eve Scout was. I popped into the stream for a little bit. Obviously, they were doing some scanning, but
This is the coolest fucking thing ever.
Yeah. So
Pretty neat.
kind of what he's mentioning is so Eve Scout or Johnny Splunk who runs Eve Scout in the game, along with Mingxi and a few others, created a Twitch Plays Eve, which for those who are unaware, people created this program called Twitch Plays Pokemon, where the chat would input commands and then it would show like the old Game Boy Pokemon, like what was it, Pokemon Yellow or whatever, playing the game and shit. And so he made that for Twitch for Eve on Twitch, which sounds really confusing and kind of like cumbersome because like people like it doesn't take like chat commands, it takes like clicking on your screen. So when you load up his stream, it has like an overlay and you can click on things, like you can click on the overview, click warp, etc., etc. And he has like the anarchy versus democracy mode, so like taking random inputs versus the most popular inputs. He has some chat commands so you can actually type good fight in local and whatnot, but it's super super cool. And so but him developing it, I don't know, yeah, if you guys want to link the stream, but as part of him
I linked
developing
it
it,
in TeamSpeak.
okay,
I'll
yeah,
do that.
but as part of him like developing this, like, right, it's like a third-party tool, it's using all this work, blah blah blah. So Twitch actually had this, I want to say like this competition for developers of people who make third-party tools. It's like have the like the best one or whatever. I don't know what you would call it, or their criteria. But Twitch Plays Eve actually made top 5, and like as part of being like top 5, I think you win like $1,000, couple $1,000,
I think
and
it's
then
$5,000.
Yeah.
And then the grand prize is 20,000.
yeah, so like Johnny can like not only get, you know, like because of this app or this I think they call it extensions
It's
or
a
programs.
Twitch extension.
So as part of this Twitch extension, he can actually like bring people into Eve and show people Eve, as well as the fact that he can probably win money. I don't know what he intends to do with the money. I'm guessing he's spent like hundreds of man hours attempting to create this because it looks like this like massive beast of a thing. But it's actually super cool. I had fun sitting around playing with it. I completed like this challenges, so I helped one of the challenges from like get from Jita to Amar, and you had to like fight with people on trying to jump gates and whatnot. But it's a ton of fun. It's an absolute blast if anyone wants to check it out. You can also, he made it so you can download the Twitch extension on your own Twitch channel, and you can have the overlay and you can interact with your viewers. So if you don't want to sit on the main Twitch Plays Eve channel, you can have it on your own channel and play with friends or find your favorite streamer and play it with them. It looks super cool and it's a lot of fun.
But it's all controlling one client. So even if you have it on your own channel, it's still controlling this single client that Johnny has set up at his house. And he has a team of support people and moderators who are watching this thing basically 24/7. There's people all around the world. And
You know what the coolest thing about that was? He won $5,000 for that shit. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm happy
yeah.
to see
Well,
somebody
hold on.
making some
So
money.
is the thing already over and he was set at 5th, or is
He
it
was
not?
the finalist. They haven't picked the final winner yet.
Okay, so
but
he
he
could
was a
potentially win
finalist.
more,
So as
so-
a finalist, he gets
Yeah.
5,000. I think the winner gets like 20 or something.
So
Yeah,
I
for
think
sure.
I think the voting takes place. I'll have to go back and check his.
I was
his
just gonna
announcement.
ask
Oh,
how
it's
they
like
choose that.
$5
Is it?
vote?
Have to
I-
brigade that
I-
shit.
Yeah,
like
I
it's
think
going out of
Eve
style.
players should brigade this fucking vote and make sure that Twitch Plays Eve gets to the top, and so Johnny wins that 20 grand.
Nice.
But not only that, it's good publicity for Eve. Like all these people.
Yeah,
are like,
It is,
Oh,
it's
what
great.
the fuck
and
is
you
this?
you basically get to interact with Eve without actually. You don't have to download the client or anything. Granted, it's like very limited interaction. There's stuff you can do, but there's a whole lot that you can't because Eve is a very complex game.
You mean to tell me
Um,
I can play Eve without actually having to play Eve? Sign me the fuck
yeah.
You
up.
can play Eve through vicariously through someone else.
But they've put a ton of thought into how to make this fun and engaging via Twitch. So
Now-
like Rain was talking about some of the challenges. Like there's a challenge called Spin Master 5000 or Spin Master 8000 or something.
It's
And the
8,000.
challenge
I
is
thought it was
to
9,000.
get a ship docked in a station and spin it. There's a little button that you can click that will spin the ship once. And the challenge is to get it spun 8,000 times. And
Hell,
it's,
I've
you
done
know,
that.
it's based on the meme of the Matani being the spin master, and there's even a website for that. The
Oh, yeah.
Matani spin mat. I can't remember the URL, but Johnny and his team have put a ton of thought into this. I had a really long discussion with him at Eve Vegas, and I think it's one of the coolest things. One of the coolest third party Eve development things that I've ever seen.
If you want to learn more about it, especially directly from Johnny Splunk, I know they're taking Eve Vegas presentations, which he actually presented at. It was called 2 Mini FCs, which is kind of the pun on being able everyone controlling one client. And you can actually go out. I think it's on YouTube now, if not on the Twitch VODs, and watch how he talks about the game and demos the game or the extension.
One question I have with that is, well, not question. Now you mentioned that he got a blessing from CCP because obviously this, for other people in chat to be, voting or issuing commands for him to take in the game, that requires some kind of input broadcasting type thing, which is totally against the rules of Eve. But he got specific permission from CCP that he was allowed to do this for this purpose.
Yep, he did. So like some people said it was like a bot. I mean, you said input broadcasting. There's a lot of like gray area with there. So instead of like just Russian rouletting it, he actually went and got CCP support from it. So like it all is figured out.
The Twitch Plays Eve account, it's the character name is Twitch Plays Eve. So this specific account, it's not Johnny's personal account, but this account that he created for this program basically has a flag on it at CCP to say, don't ban this account for input broadcasting or anything like that. So it's a very unique case, and I don't think there's ever been anyone like it.
It's exciting
I-
stuff though. Highly recommend
Honestly,
you
I
watch
would
it.
think this is one of those times where you got to stretch the rules a little. I mean, in the end, anything that happens
Well, they
on
did.
Twitch that advertises Eve is good for the game. if people see it and they say, "Oh, I want to play that." I mean, I'll be honest. When I watch Twitch streams and I see somebody playing a game that looks cool, I'm more likely to go and buy it. I was watching Lizzie Fox on Fatbeat today playing this Arcane game that I had never heard of, and I'm looking at that. Well, you know what? I might try that.
Arcade is fun as fuck.
It's a generic like RPG. It's kind of like.
I like generic RPGs.
Risk,
I play
you
a lot
play
of
as a
those.
cat
I
girl.
play WoW. What the hell?
Yeah, you can be
You
a
can
cat
play
girl
as
if
a
you
cat
want.
girl. So much fun.
Every time we get people streaming Eve, that's a potential to reach out to somebody that otherwise wouldn't play it. So if they get hit with input broadcasting or something like that, I will lose my shit.
One other announcement I was going to bring up. This is something for
Everything on Eve promotes it, Pando. Go ahead, sorry.
So Mike Azariah, he runs Magic School Bus. It's basically a thing where he just runs around HiSec and gives new players ships and gives them stuff. And if you want to support a starving new bro in Eve, you can go and send Mike Azariah. You want to send him ships and Jita. You can send him Isk. I could type his name out in chat, but yeah. So I don't know if it's for a Christmas thing he's doing. So if you're feeling generous,
It's Operation Magic School Bus.
Operation
He's been doing
Magic
this
School
for
Bus.
years.
Yeah, he's been doing it for a long time. So if you want to throw him some Isk, if you feel like that, he kind of helps some of the new players get into ships, get stuff going on, and gives them some help to try and keep them in the game. So he's kind of
Dirk has
working
pledged
that player retention.
10
stuff.
billion.
Holy
10 billion
shit.
from Dirk in BC's name. So join him. It'll be good.
And if you want to just throw a note, if you send a message or something, just throw a note what it's for. There's just make sure that you tell them, like, hey, Magic School Bus or something. That being said, I think we got everything except for the Meta Show announcement. Do you want to do
Right.
that, Brisk?
Someone's got a new job.
So
Should we announce it for you?
go ahead if you guys want to do it for me.
All right. Well, so Meta Show starting tomorrow. Thank you. Starting tomorrow at the ripe hour of, when does that show start?
Something
Starts
weird
at
time.
2100 Eve, which
There you
is
go.
4 p.m. Eastern and American time.
That's like I don't yeah. Anyway, so anyway, Matani obviously runs the show. He's been running it with Boat for a long time. Boat is no longer going to be on the show, and Brisk is going to be the co-host with Matani. So
Pretty exciting, huh?
Maybe
So-
now.
Congratulations, Brisk.
I know,
knew
right?
You could do
Another
it.
show for me to do. Look. I'll
Are
be
you-
honest. I'm excited about this because
Are you gonna wear a red shirt or is Matani gonna? Suit?
Matani wears the red shirt. I don't need to wear a red shirt. He's the red shirt
You
guy.
wear a
I'm,
blue. You should wear a blue shirt.
I'm the tie guy.
Oh,
I'm
Wear,
the guy
wear
that wears a tie.
Wear a blue tie.
So I'm excited. I'm excited about the fact that look, Meta Show has been the backbone of INN forever. It's been around. It's coming up on its 5th year. It was like the show when it started out, and Mitten was on there, and it's had folks like Last Hell Raving and those guys on there. Besides Boat, this is like the big show, and they routinely would get numbers that made ours look tiny.
yeah, well, I think
I'm
it
very
still is the
excited.
biggest Eve.
Oh, it
talk show.
absolutely
Yeah,
is.
It always has been.
So
It
I mean,
probably
it's
will be.
bigger than Talking Stations. It's bigger than Open Comms. It's bigger than Push. It's bigger than all the talk shows. So I'm very excited to be part of that team. I'll be honest. We've been on INN for how long? I mean, this show's like 8 years old. I
5
think
years, maybe. I think.
a long time. And working with Life Shifter and the rest of these guys the last week, the amount of stuff that these guys were able to get done in a week to help change the show and rebrand it and move things around and do stuff because I'm really anal about the stuff that I want, I'm amazed. So I hope you guys will tune in tomorrow at 4 o'clock, 2100. I think you're going to like the show. It's different from what you're used to because obviously I'm not Boat. I'm never going to be able to fill Boat shoes, but it'll be a different show. And I think you'll like it.
I do like it. It's I wouldn't say it's totally biased, but you get like the little hint of propaganda in there sometimes when if Matani goes on his rants, if a topic comes up, and then he just kind of goes in his little, almost like a fireside chat spiel. But it does give you get the perspective. This is going to be nullsec focused, is what I was reading. Nullsec focus or nullsec and nullsec politics focused. So yeah, it gives you like a nice picture of that. With a little bit of a grain of salt, you have to take it because I mean, it's not that they're going to outright lie in what's going on, but there is always going to be some propaganda bias to it, but not not egregious, I don't think. But it's
look,
fun. It's fun to watch because you get the.
This
you
is
get
the
good
thing,
info,
and Drayden, you're absolutely right. I think one of the things with Meta Show in the past, everybody said, all right, Boat was very partisan. Mittens is obviously very partisan. He's not going to not be partisan. It's that's what he does. It's part of his persona.
Right.
I'm not that guy. I'm not like that, and I tend to be the one that's fair.
Brisk,
and I
come
tend
on.
to, and that's kind of
and
my.
balanced.
No, you should
Fine.
totally jump on
They
the
need
propaganda
someone
bandwagon.
Everybody's
really
biased.
unbiased, like
But the
Lazy
point,
Bunny.
one of the things that we wanted
impossible
to
to
do,
be
Mittens and I
unbiased.
spent like 5 hours sitting around talking during Vegas about potential stuff, and it ended up gelling like last week when they offered me to be on the show. But the fact is, I said, look, I don't want to do a propaganda show, and they said, we're not going to be propaganda. I'm like, I don't want to do Fox News. We're not going to be Fox News.
Oof,
I want to do
shots fired.
something fun. I want to do
B
something
news.
that talks about like nullsec politics, the outside, CCP as a business and the game as a business, and those types of things, where we can have a higher end discussion with two lawyers who know a lot of shit about outside of stuff that besides game mechanics. So if you want to watch a show where you see two random dudes arguing about what's the best fit for a Munin, this is not your show. If you want to watch a show that's got a bunch of guys that have done a bunch of things and talking about high-end stuff, this is going to be your show. It's going to be fun. We're going to have a
What
good
is
time.
the best fit for a Munin?
I have no idea. Ask
The
me.
kind that makes
Alright.
it so it blows up because Munins suck. So sick of flying Munins.
Yeah, they were fun for a while, but I think I had
I
my
had
fill of
fun in
Munins in
Munin.
Black Legion, and even when I came to NC we just flew Munins. Like it was like Munins and Feroxes, and actually no, it was Eagles and Munins most of the time when I first.
I
came
think
in,
I
so.
have like 500 kills in a simi with like less than 1 year being in BL.
Although,
Because that's how much we flew Munins.
yeah, in
That's-
BL I flew
yeah,
Munins most of the time.
Was
when I
that
came
just
to
one
NC.
whore drone? Was that it?
Yeah, that was me and my whore drones.
That's
I
awesome.
used
So
them
what's
one
the
at a time.
dominant horde drone? Is it a warrior or you drop a
Warrior.
bouncer?
No, you do warriors are the fastest, and then you
No,
move
warrior
too
two.
fast, so you can't do sentries.
I was the
Warrior
responsible
twos, yeah.
Logi. I didn't put any warriors. I put 3 armor bots and 2 hull bots in there just
Attaboy.
because like my reps will get the
Proper
shields,
Logi.
but if they take some armor or hull damage, I got you, bro. I'll get you eventually.
I
It might
do
take an
that,
hour, but
but-
I'll get you.
Tackle's
Proud.
usually too dumb. I also have 569 kills in my simi.
Nice.
I don't think I have a single kill on a Logi ship because I don't think I've ever sat in a Logi ship.
Yeah. I mean, I have used
You're
horde
an
drones before,
embarrassment, Briss. How dare you?
Fuck Logi.
Wow.
but I
Logi's
stopped
number
using the
one.
horde drones because
Fighting words.
when we were in Eagles, we were usually keeping at range at like 80 kilometers or so. It's like, well, horde drones don't do jack shit at that range, so might as well have some rep drones.
Drop
Yeah.
some sentries. There you
I
go.
have 4 of my top 10 ships are Logi ships. One of them being a Kirin, which I'm pretty sure I got 100 kills once killing Blood Demon Alliance or whatever they're called.
Redline, I'm not taking it back. I think we should pull Logi out of the game. We don't need Logi ships.
Are you
Get rid of all
serious?
Logi.
Fuck you.
All Logi. Buy Logi.
No.
Faxes, blow them all up.
They kinda
More
nerfed
fun when
Faxes
everything
pretty
dies.
good.
We don't need to save anybody. Fuck healing.
No, you gotta have healers.
Obviously, I'm kidding, assholes.
No, you weren't.
Whatever.
Mostly.
You're about to get
Okay,
voted off the
boomer.
meta
Okay,
show
boomer.
before you even get there.
Now, that was a good use of OK Boomer, yes.
Bodie Bagel, thanks for the resub, 15 months.
Every time someone says, like, Eve Classic or something, you just say okay boomer to them. Because they're Eve boomers.
Eve Classic. All right, do we want to talk about the elephant in the room?
Yeah. I think we've got all the
Yeah,
early
let's talk
stuff out
about
of the
my
way.
beard.
The patch
Yeah, I
notes?
shaved my beard off.
Let's talk about the patch note.
notes.
Your beard is
Oh,
gone. I just
patch note.
realized that.
Yeah.
We have to talk
Well,
about
You
the
mean
patch
went
the
out
you mean
for
the
months.
you mean
Oh.
the most in-depth,
Okay.
longest, most insightful patch notes in the history of EVE Online?
Don't
You
say
mean
patch
those?
notes. This isn't plural. It's a patch
I
I
note.
would almost
patch
call this an
notes.
expansion, in my opinion, but
It's almost an expansion.
The only thing that could make it better is for like April 1st if they just put out a dev notes, a dev blog, and it just says like not releasing anything or things will stay the way they are.
I thought about that. They should totally like yeah, April 1st patch notes, nothing was changed today.
yeah. So it came out on Tuesday. So big changes. A portion of new Capsuleers will start experiencing a preliminary version of a login campaign complete with minor rewards.
Draven, can we
yes,
get a TL, can we get a
CCP, you did it!
TLDR on that? I wasn't paying
You
attention.
want the
Is this why you
TLDR?
resubbed? Is that why you resubbed, man?
This is why I resubbed.
Login campaign,
I need
minor
I need a
rewards. There's
TLDR.
your-
I can't pay attention that
login
long for that.
campaign, minor rewards, Brisk.
Oh,
I
okay.
like
Well,
That's the
mining
patch.
minor.
okay.
That's
That's
the
not
patch.
bad.
Now, was the
Mining
CSM
rewards?
aware of
They're gonna
this
be mining
before
rewards.
it went
ER, I
live?
think.
Minor.
That's what I want to know. Did the
Minor.
CSM have
Did the
input on this,
CSM know
or
about
Minor.
this?
Is this another Hurricane Hilmar fucking
Oh, right.
scenario?
Did
Is
they
this
actually
part
get
of the
approval of
blackout?
this from the council?
This the Chaos era?
There you go.
Fucking whale.
Whale noises.
Was that you, Briss? That's like
That was me.
What's
I'm a
that?
whale.
Oh, I thought it was LB. LB, you stepping on your
It was
toes.
me.
man.
I'm the only one with the soundboard. Everyone's been grounded from the soundboard.
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
right.
We're not allowed to do soundboards because
Yeah,
they get us
Blastum got
like,
grounded. Blastum actually
they
got
get
in
us struck
trouble
on
to
YouTube.
turn down
I
for
wanna do the
what?
soundboard
That was
at least once.
Do you guys still have the like Twitch clip of me making whale noises when Brisk was like, "Yes, I am a whale"?
somewhere. I mean, that's got to be on the saved on the
I'm
thing.
just
That was a great
imagining
night.
it. It was
That
so
was a fun
funny.
night.
with this whole. I mean, I guess technically, if they're gonna change anything, they got to put patch notes out. But there wasn't anything else you could do in this patch, or you
Not
couldn't.
for this.
You
So-
couldn't push
they-
this off
if
to
you
like the
noticed-
next one.
If you noticed, they updated it later to say more notes during the month as things roll on, or
Oh,
some
more
nonsense
updates
like
to
Now,
come
that.
as the
you
month rolls
know-
on. So that's
you
a
know,
new addition.
Yeah.
So
If they didn't release a patch note for this, people would have lost their fucking
well,
minds.
that's what I'm saying. I understand.
But
it.
that's, I mean,
There's no
here's the,
coverage
but here's the
back,
thing. Who's going to lose their minds because none of us are new players? How would we even
That's a-
fucking know what
that's-
happened?
I know,
That's the joke, Brisk. That's the joke.
I'm saying I understand that
Right
they gotta,
over my head.
They have to put the patch notes out, but this should have just been lumped in with something else. They could have released this later. This is not necessary right now. If it's the only
I
thing they're
kind
gonna
of
do,
admire the balls to release a single patch note.
it's not even.
I mean,
April.
that's pretty good.
I gotta give it to them.
If it was April 1st, I'd love it. This just doesn't make sense to me, but I'm fine with it though.
So we got rid of the patch note.
Okay,
How about
now
we
we got-
talk about
we got the
Oh,
actual
we're not going to talk more about
elephant
this.
in the room?
Yeah, so I went out for a week on exercise, and I've come back, and I can't wait for my favorite dev blog from my favorite community developer, CCP Falcon. Oh,
Well, about
Oh.
this.
About that.
Oh.
Womp womp.
he gone.
So
I have a question.
yes,
I read the dev blog in the Twitter post as he left under his own volition. Did he leave or was he fired?
that's not how I read it.
I have some
Yeah.
questions.
Wait,
take
there
him-
was a
I
dev
would
blog?
Take him
There
at
was
his
a dev blog?
word.
I meant Twitter post.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So the Twitter post, and Dirk pointed. I didn't really catch it, but once it was pointed out, it's like okay. Yeah, because Dirk said it's time for me to dock my Polaris Enigma frigate and set off in search of a new adventure. So that's what Dirk focused on. He's like in
So-
search of, as in he
So he
isn't
doesn't have
leaving.
something else lined
He
up.
doesn't.
Correct,
He's
and
not
then- and his
leaving to
third-
go to another
his-
company. He's
his
leaving
last
and
tweet-
looking for a job. So
His last tweet said, "No idea what's next, but I'll always be a capsuleer and I'll always be around for those who want to chat." That's
Yeah.
not the kind of thing you say when you're leaving to go to your next big thing. Like
well,
Guard
I mean,
did.
Guard kind of said something like I think Guard. was
Guard,
saying-
no, Guard said he was moving on to a new opportunity.
Guard
Right,
made
right.
a massive forum post. Guard also has something in game dedicated to him, and he had like, did he have like an AMA or some other dumb shit?
Like a
he had
ton
all
of
this
stuff.
And
Now,
compared to Falcon,
Guard
where it was
Guard
just-
had been with CCP much longer than Falcon.
Now that's true. I mean, but 7
I
years
think-
is nothing to sneeze at.
Seven-
I mean,
no,
that's
I'm
seven
not, I'm not
years has
saying
been
that.
death. He's been
I
with
don't mean to
CCP.
diminish
I understand.
Falcon's involvement.
But like Falcon's been around too, just like community stuff. Like he was a player since the very beginning. Like
Right,
he's
and
been
that's
involved
the
in
other
community
thing. That's
since
the thing that
beginning.
most annoys the shit out of me, to be honest. I don't care whether you like Falcon, you don't like Falcon, or whatever. But he was one of us. He was a player first. He was like Rise and some of these other guys. They started out as players, and then they moved over and they started working for CCP. So I always viewed him when we were in Turtle and dealing with that. All right, he's one of us. He understands the game because he wanted to work here because he loved the game, not because this was a job and it paid him money and he got to go to Iceland or whatever. So to have him leave and have absolute and uncompletely contested radio silence for CCP on this, that's kind of a slap in the face to the community.
Well, and
I
the
mean,
lead up before this, the weird thing is that he kind of wasn't around. Like, you didn't hear much from him, and then he was supposed to be going to Vegas, and then he wasn't going to Vegas, and he just kind of felt like he dropped off the face of the earth for about a month, and then this comes out.
All right, the
Did you see
Vegas
that-
thing. Now I've
Did you
talked to
see
him.
that
The
Reddit
Vegas
post
thing.
about that though?
The
No.
Vegas thing was totally personal. He had a death in the family. He had to go back to England.
Oh,
That had nothing
okay.
to do with it.
That I didn't know.
But the fact is, when we don't see him public facing like he used to be, when we haven't seen one of those 07 weekly CCP roundup things in like months, and all of a sudden we start seeing his name getting removed from everywhere, that's what started all the speculation. And Boat, oddly enough, on the Meta Show last week said, "Hey, Falcon's been taking off all this stuff. Where is he? Is he okay? What's going on?" And we get nothing.
I had a hunch that this was coming because in the last few months he had been, even when he was tweeting and communicating, it wasn't about Eve. It was, he's tweeting food pics, or he's talking about F1 racing, or he's tweeting about his cats.
He's
like,
done his cats for a long time though.
yeah, but I mean, it's like he was.
He made
for
CCP
the longest
Kid
time.
account or
For the
whatever.
longest time, he was like all of his tweets. It was like totally Eve related, and then it was almost like a complete cutoff, going back maybe 4 or 5 months ago, that he just stopped talking about Eve completely, and I noticed he was getting quieter and less involved in community stuff. So I told him this morning when I saw the tweet, I DM'd him and I said I had a hunch that this was coming.
So
I had a
on
long
Reddit-
conversation with him, and I'm not going to make it public, but I mean, the bottom line for me is the CCP community team has had 100% turnover in the span of a year.
A year.
You
Has it
know,
only been a year? Yeah, that sounds
been a
right.
year.
doesn't it?
and it's like, guys, okay, everybody's different. All the folks we knew are gone. I mean, I like Bam. I like Dopamine. But these guys are newer and they're not as public facing. I think the biggest face right now for the company is probably Burger, because he's been doing all this stuff.
I was
Like
literally
maybe Rise.
Burger and Dopamine.
I
have
was
been
literally
pretty
telling
public.
Right.
Dirk this earlier. Is I know Burger is not a community guy. He's what is it, game designer or something?
He's like the lead producer.
Lead
He's the creative director. He's
creative
the head,
director.
one of
Creative
the head
director.
guys.
But I mean, just seeing the guy in Vegas. I mean, when you see his presentations from past Vegases, he's very almost bullet pointed. But when you just talk to him outside of the presentations, he is so animated and so hyped up. It's like he feels like the community guy, and he's all over the place, but he's not.
Right. I love Burger. He's like another guard, but the thing is, these are the folks that the community team are the folks that most players see more often than not. They're the forward-facing people. Falcon has been one of the faces of the game. When I was on CSM, he was the guy that made every meeting. Even when Guard couldn't be there, Falcon was there. And when Guard left, we're like, okay, well, at least Falcon's still here. And Dopamine was brand new when I got off the CSM. And it's kind of one of these things where you're losing the continuity. And frankly, for me, I hate seeing former players who became devs then leaving. So it's one more person internally at CCP that doesn't have that experience of playing the game like we all do. But
You think it has
No.
anything to do with Pearl Abyss?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
No, it fucking does not.
That was
I'm prone to think that any change at this point has some influence from Pearl Abyss. Maybe it's Pearl Abyss is probably not the driving factor in a lot of these changes, and I don't want to say layoffs, but staff turnover maybe.
Manic, I'll be honest.
no.
Like I don't want to preview Meta Show tomorrow, but I'm going to talk about some of this stuff
Okay.
tomorrow. But there was a Pearl Abyss investor call yesterday, and a number of us, Noisy, me, and a couple other people were on it. And the funny thing is, it's surprising to me how little these guys even acknowledge that Eve is part of their company and that CCP is part of the company. Like there was small references to Eve and some questions from the financial press about Eve Echoes, but other than that, they barely talked about it. So I get the feeling that honestly, as long as they're hitting their numbers, I don't think Korea cares one rat shit what happens in Iceland. That's just the way that the tone of that call was to
and
me. But I'll
see,
talk
They,
more about it
they
tomorrow
care
on the
about
show.
that region specific localization coming, don't they? The Korean
Yeah.
client.
They
and all
did
that.
announce that. They
They-
did make that announcement. That was
I-
one of the few things that they talked about.
I
even
think
on that
it's
call.
naive to say that they don't care at all. They obviously care. They've they own the company. The CCP is a property of Pearl Abyss now, so
it
they
public-
obviously care.
But I
Is
don't
it
think that
public
they I don't
knowledge
think that they
about what
care
PA
enough that they're making internal decisions at that
Do you
level.
guys know what PA has done for CCP at the moment? So like,
A ton of
public?
stuff.
Is it public knowledge that like PA had the entire Nova team rather than being laid off? They told CCP to keep them. Like, how do you think we got
Is that
dopamine?
true?
Yeah, that dopamine.
I had not heard
was
that.
Dopamine was a Nova dev.
I knew
Dopamine
he was a
was
Nova.
the
dev.
Nova community manager.
But
And
guys,
now
I'm
he
telling you
works on
right
Eve.
now, for a company like that, as long as you're hitting your numbers, they're not going to interfere internally. That's what it sounded like from this call, and I don't think even something this level, I don't think that they would stick their fingers in unless there was
That's
a
the
real
thing.
reason
So
to do
like
it.
my cynical brain wants to think that Pearl Abyss is like getting their dirty mitts into CCP and shaking things up to boost profits or whatever. But I hope that I'm wrong. I honestly do.
I mean,
My-
honestly, the numbers that were in the call, and you guys are killing all my stealing all my content for tomorrow. I mean,
That's what we do here.
Eve is profitable. They revenue wise, they bring in $12-13 million a quarter. That's a lot,
What's the net
so
income?
That I mean, I think they brought in like 14.7 billion won, which ends up being like $13 million.
Yeah.
That way, and it was
That's
down
still
2%
decent, yeah.
over last quarter.
12
But I
and a
mean,
half million.
you're looking at Eve making somewhere around $60 million a year. That's not bad for a 15-year-old IP.
Yeah.
Well, and,
So as far
so
these
what
guys,
Noisy's-
go
okay.
ahead.
Oh, I was just saying what Noise is saying. I mean, I don't do any investing, but so obviously that sounds very successful. They're making like tens of millions in profit per year, but he was saying that
Yeah,
they're
not profit,
down-
revenue. We don't have the profit numbers. We have the revenue numbers.
Okay, so but he's
That's
saying
it.
that they're still down 2%. So even if it's still very profitable, do investors get freaked out if there's a drop in
It depends on the
if there's a
region. It
decline?
depends on the region. I mean, the problem is, here's the thing. Like, I don't know. Noisy has followed this longer than I have, but CCP was not publicly traded before this. So trying to get revenue projections and numbers
They're
out of
not
them was
publicly
hard.
traded right now. They have.
But PA
an investor-
is. That's the thing.
Oh, okay.
PA is publicly traded, so they do investor calls, they do revenue calls because they're trying to improve their stock price. So we get public information from these guys that we typically didn't get. So we get to see the revenue numbers, and that's a good thing. Now the problem is that we get the revenue numbers for the IP. We don't know what CCP as a company overall is making because they have other other titles besides Eve. We only got it broken out by Eve IP. So, and we don't know what the costs are. We don't know what their internal costs. We know the cost for the entire PA company is, but we don't know what they are just for the subsidiary.
And
So a lot of this is speculation, but
and to
they're
kind
making
of-
money.
But to bring that back, so for those who are unaware, investor calls are where a company has to talk to its financial investors and explain what changed. What did they see in the market, what they see in the industry, what affected internally, and how all of that translates into their financial statements. And it's a big fucking deal. I get to listen to my company's investor calls it was every quarter, now it's every half, because we switched. But it's actually super interesting if you're ever interested in stuff like that. But us being able to listen into PA stuff gives insight into what they as an entire company is doing and may reflect a little bit on CCP. Because CCP is not publicly traded, we have no insight into their financials. They don't have to release those. I believe they may have to release something for Iceland information, but if you're not publicly traded in general, you don't have to release that publicly.
That's not
Right.
right.
And the hard part is, for us is we only have the last 2 quarters worth of data. The fourth quarter of 2018, the data is not full because that's when the sale went through. So we're trying to compare, all right, well, what does this look like? So there was a 2% drop between second quarter and third quarter, which was something like $300,000, which is peanuts overall if you're thinking about it. But third quarter was still better than first quarter, and it was still better than fourth quarter last year, which was partial. So until we get a way to compare things year by year, which we're not going to get until this time next year, it's hard to say. But there are plenty of reasons why, we would have lost $300,000 in a year. Eve would have.
Rain is eating on camera.
God damn it, Rain!
It's homemade
Wow.
mac and cheese.
What the
wow,
fuck?
Rain,
It's
how
so
dare
good.
you?
It's
How
okay.
dare you eat on camera?
I want to give a shot to Falcon.
Right. Yeah, we were supposed to do a shot for Falcon.
Let's do a shot for Falcon.
I have
and
another
just to-
picture. That's Dirk. That's the McGurk's shots for Falcon as well. That looks like Fireball to me.
That's perfect.
There we
for
go.
Falcon.
All right, I'm going to shut up now so I have something to talk about tomorrow.
That new that new
But anyway.
shot sound makes me just full of sadness.
Thank you,
LB.
CCP
I like it.
Falcon,
Yeah, well,
for
that's-
everything.
love
you did
Falcon.
for the game,
Thank you for everything you've done
community.
for the game.
We'll have to,
we
we'll have to
love
make
you.
something. We'll have to brainstorm something.
I have to go make a drink. I'll be right.
Falcon was the perfect. He was the perfect voice that was needed for when shit got out of hand in the community.
He was definitely not. He was not a yes man. If you needed to muscle the rabble down to a
Yeah.
respectable level, you send in the Falcon.
Totally, and I have mad respect for the guy.
I had to work with Falcon a bunch, doing the AT stuff, a lot of the streamer stuff, as well as like some of the like Eve TV stuff. And like I have a lot of respect for him just like as a human being, but he's also like helped me out on like a personal level for things, which will probably never see the light of day. But like bless his heart for just being able to handle some of the shit that he can handle as a person and as a developer.
Wait, hold on a second. Did fucking Bunny eat on camera too?
I've been
He
doing
was-
it for like
He's
the
been
last
eating
hour.
pizza all
You
night.
sons of
Chris.
bitches.
Yeah, dude, I'm about to go get some spaghetti. How about that?
I am so mad at you.
I'm not gonna
all.
wear a
Clear
bib.
sexism, Briss.
I don't wear bibs. Just saying.
You know, and I know that if Pro God had actually gotten on the show tonight, he would have had a pizza delivered in the middle of the fucking
As-
show or something.
As
I would
long as you don't have a
In
hot
my
mic when
defense-
you're eating, I think it's okay.
Yeah,
In my
that's
defense, I absolutely ordered it way before the show started. It just took forever to get here.
Yeah. No, I don't mind people eating on camera. It's eating on the microphone that bugs the shit out of me. And that I can't stand. Especially people
did-
that eat with their mouths open and like smack their
Was that not a
lips, like-
soundboard? How'd you like? That sounded like the Minecraft
I heard.
sound.
I heard one of our favorite FCs has a real aversion to that. Eating on comms.
You should not do that for him.
Oh man. Dude, what if we made a spin-off
Very-
show called Eating on Comms?
Can we not?
Oh my God! Please do not do that. That would be
don't
the
do
worst
that.
goddamn show in the history of streaming.
Muted com.
Oh, dude, I'm excited for
To
that.
be about as successful as that one show where all the FCs would just work mine,
No,
and it lasted 2 episodes and it stopped.
it would be a social experiment because the 4 people that would show up, you know what their fetish is now. They just want to hear eating sounds. So
Bruce Shami says open mouth comms.
open mouth.
Everybody chews with their mouth open.
That sounds
Oh,
so terrible.
That would be so hard for me because it drives me nuts when people eat with their mouth
Oh,
open
dude,
so much.
that
and
was
I don't even know if I
drilled
can
into
force.
me at a very
Yeah.
young age. Like you
Yeah.
do not chew with your mouth open.
I have a friend that just he must have never learned that because it just drove me fucking nuts.
That is like my biggest fear is I desperately try to get my kid to not chew with his mouth open. He's really good about it now, but when he was younger, I'm like, please don't chew with your mouth open. Don't be that kid.
Pearl, I called you. You didn't answer. That's not my fault. I'm lost. Where are we at? We have like 2 things on this.
We
No,
keep talking about Falcon.
You can keep
We
talking
finished
about
talking about.
You guys
I
have
mean, is there any
stories?
more to talk about with
Do you
Falcon?
guys have any stories about him?
I want to thank Falcon because I was doxxed last year and Falcon swooped
I
in,
remember that.
no pun intended. Falcon brought the banhammer down really hard and he reached out to me privately just to see how I was handling it, but and that like wasn't prompted at all. It was just I was ready to just let the chips fall where they may, but Falcon was having none of that shit. So Falcon took care of me there. He took care of me when I was in Iceland for FanFest in 2017 and 2018. He and Guard both kept a close eye on me and made sure I was okay for everything. Yeah, the loss of Falcon and Guard, I think, is felt very strongly throughout the community.
Well, and it's weird for me because I didn't. So 7 years. That's about when I started Eve. So back when I was first starting to play, that must have been when Falcon first got hired at CCP. It took about a year or so before I started, figuring out who the devs were and that they actually interacted with the community and stuff. Because when you first start playing, you don't really know that stuff. And so when I started paying attention to the Eve community, it's like you had the old guard. Well, to me, the old guard. I never played back in beta, but so Falcon and Fozzie and Rise and Seagull and Guard, or I said Guard already, but Falcon. All those. It's like those and Punk Tourist. She's gone as well. Karker. So I mean, those are all like the old guard devs for me, and so now that they're starting to slowly move on to other things, it's I wouldn't say disconcerting, but it's sad,
different.
but it feels
It's
different. But
definitely-
I mean,
it feels different.
it happens though. That's the other thing, is it happens in companies. I mean, especially in tech companies. I guess turnover rates in tech companies a lot.
Soundwave was a big deal too.
Soundwave was a big deal. Yeah. he
Yeah,
was
see,
great.
I heard of Soundwave, but I think he had left pretty soon after I started. So
He was like back. I think he left back in about 2009, I believe.
oh, then he was already gone. Okay, so I just heard his name, people talking back in the day, because I didn't start till 2012.
So Soundwave was an actual dev though. I don't think he was. I mean, he engaged with the community, but he wasn't part of the community team. He was an actual developer. I think he was one of the lead developers on the game. He was very forward with development of the game.
Okay,
But-
so what was it?
Hey, so
Look Back Wars.
my mom, we're talking.
Okay.
No, we're talking about Falcon, right? So my mom just texted me. Falcon invited me and your dad to Iceland and was going to seat us front row during one of your presentations to surprise you. I had no
That's
fucking
adorable.
idea.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's so cute. Also, to be fair, us as open comms, first of all, we're on the wrong time zone for like Iceland developers to come in and talk to
Apparently.
us.
Although,
But
you know, Avalon
Falcon's
shows
one.
up all the
Every now
time.
and Avalon.
Avalon
shows up,
shows
He's
yeah.
in
up,
that Alpha, I think.
Alpha shows up, but Falcon was another huge supporter. Even
Yeah.
when we were just like absolute degenerates, he would come
Yeah.
on the show and calm us all down and talk to
There-
us
there
like
was a-
reasonable
yeah.
human beings.
There was very few so was it Avalon, Alpha, back before, like, he became Alpha, but back in those days he was CSP Vesna Prushna, or I can't even pronounce it. It was a Russian name, but so CSP Alpha, Avalon, and Falcon, and I believe Karker would pop in once in a while as well. Like, those were the four
She would,
devs. Yeah, those were the four devs that would. There was
Man,
another-
I haven't talked to
There was
Karker
another one I
in a
can't think
long
of, but those
time.
are like
I
the
missed
regular
her.
devs that would come in and they actually liked watching the show. And then Falcon, I would say, aside from maybe Avalon, but we've had Avalon a handful of times, but it's usually pretty short. But I'd say Falcon is probably the dev that's been on the show more than any other dev. Like, I remember we had Fozzie on one time, but he was, it's Iceland. So when we had him on, it was like 3 in the freaking morning there, and somehow he was still in the office, like closing up shop or something.
See,
I don't
we
know.
need to get Rise on because he's in the same time zone as you crazy left coast
Yeah.
people, and he could
I think
actually
he was
talk to
on
us.
one time.
Did you say
He
Do we
came
have
on
him
in
on?
Vegas.
Left Coast.
Left
Yeah.
coast.
Left coast. You're on the
Well, left
coast.
is relative, Briss, because guess what? You turn
Yeah.
around, now it's the right coast. So
Right.
what do you do there? You're never always facing north.
Don't even argue.
I'm
with
just-
me.
Reality is an illusion.
Let me just learn you some
What is the
science
Earth
there,
not
Brisk.
flat now? You're gonna try
Are
to
you a
tell me
flat
the Earth is
earther?
round? Stop.
Okay, boomer.
The Earth is
Stop.
cubed. I subscribe to
We've
the
had
cubed
two
Earth theory.
proper uses of the OK Boomer meme tonight, and both from Rain. I give her credit for that.
I have a Punk Therese story. Speaking of Punk Therese, in my
Therese, is
first-
that how you say it?
I want to.
how I
I want
always
to
said
meet
it.
her because she's like all
She
politician.
was
I've always
great.
said Punk
So my-
Therese. Who's wrong?
Punk Therese. I say Punk Therese because I think
Someone's
that's
wrong.
how she pronounces it.
Oh, then I'm wrong.
In my very first Eve Vegas back in 2015, I believe, I went on the pub crawl, and this was back before like I knew anybody in the community, so I was really just attending by myself. But I went on the pub crawl, and I was on her team, but I didn't know anybody, and I got really fucking drunk. I drank way too much. I was having fun, but I got really sick. And we were at the last bar, and I just found an empty couch to sit in.
She hold your hair
just-
up.
She kind of she came over and she sat down with me, and she's like, I just want to make sure you're okay. I'm like, yeah, I just need to take some time. She's like, well, I'll sit with you until the bus comes to pick us up. I was like, thank you very much.
Oh, is that the
So
party
she-
bus year?
The
the
party
atomic
bus,
bar
yeah.
and
So
stuff?
she just,
Yeah.
I mean, everybody's out partying, having a good time. She took the time to come over and
Was
make
this in
sure that I was
2015?
okay. I think 2015 or 2016.
I think-
2017.
Is that when you were doing the bike?
Yeah, it was the bike and the bus.
it was the
yeah,
bike
yeah.
one,
Yeah,
yeah.
so
I
you
was
had
in
Punk,
her pub
yeah,
crawl.
you had
Me
Punk
and
Therese
you
and
were with
Karker.
her.
Yeah, it was like a dual group. You guys were group 9, we were
Pub
group
crawl.
10. That's really group.
Wait,
That's
wait,
the year the
when-
group 10
when was
started.
this? It wasn't
No,
last
no,
year
no,
because there
no,
was
no,
no
no,
pub crawler.
I-
No, no,
I
it
was
wasn't.
I was
it was
on group 4 with CCP. Who was the old economics guy? Shit, he was really
Quant.
he was
Quant?
Quant. He was
Quant.
fucking
Quant?
gorgeous.
Oh my
I was
god,
on his
he's so
team.
handsome.
God, that guy. If I was gay, I swear to God.
Drayden.
It was
What happens in
3
FanFest
years ago,
stays
I
at
think.
FanFest Manic, you know that.
It was
Not true for Vegas, which is why we're all sick.
I can't remember if it was the last year at Planet Hollywood or the
I
first
didn't
year
get
at the
anybody
Link.
sick, by the
But
way.
I think it was the last year at
That
Planet
was
Hollywood.
all y'all.
How did you not get sick? Because me and a couple others got sick.
Because I have a very
still
dominant-
recovering.
Didn't
I'm
everybody get
still
sick after
fucking
this Vegas?
recovering. It's
No,
been
Bunny
2
did.
weeks. and
Hold
I'm
on,
still
I did,
sick.
but it was I did not. I don't think I got sick from Vegas. I think I got sick because my flight home. It was a non-stop flight from Vegas to Spokane, which never happens. You never get direct flights into Spokane ever, unless you're coming from Salt Lake or Minneapolis, because those are Delta hubs, and basically Spokane is just nothing but Delta. But I had a direct flight, so it was a 3-hour flight. And I had a window seat, and the person right next to me was just like, just sniffling and sneezing. I'm like, I'm getting sick. I'm getting sick from this. And then 2 days later, yep, fucking sick. Although it was just a head cold.
I think it's either because I took a hit from your flask, Drayden, or
Are you saying
I
my
was-
flask was patient zero?
That couldn't have been because I did too.
It was either
Yeah,
that or
but you
I
have a
was-
dominant
I
immune system.
shared, I
I
shared
do.
Mrs.
I'm
Wiggert's
vaccinated against
vape pen a
literally
couple of
everything that
times.
exists right now.
Oh man.
I would go with the vape pen. I think
It was
the alcohol.
I got
probably the
wild
vape.
Saturday, and Headliner challenged me to a game
It
of
couldn't
chicken,
have possibly been the
which I
shoey
clearly
back
lost. But
It couldn't have been that either.
then. Couldn't have been the
you
shoey.
say that, but me and a couple others got sick. So maybe you just have a really good immune system.
Maybe it was everybody that went
Dominant.
to karaoke got sick. Maybe
Dominant.
the karaoke
Shut up.
made you sick.
We were all crammed into that room.
Karaoke.
I was
be.
there as well.
I was at karaoke. I didn't get sick.
Oh my god.
That's why I think it was definitely the plane ride home.
My
'cause
voice
it took
was
2
already shot
days.
by then, though.
Yeah, it took 2 days after the plane ride, or flight, I guess, not a ride.
I got
but,
conned into doing the Twitch Sings thing, and it's kind of fun.
It's
I've
so
been doing
much
Oh, was
it.
fun,
Alex?
dude.
Alex?
Twitch Sings is
It's
great.
super fun.
Lizzie Fox was doing a show, and she made me sing a duet with her, and it was fun.
Do it. There's so
I
much
love
fun.
it.
The Twitch thing is pretty cool, and they got a lot of good songs. They don't have enough country for me, but it's good. What I need you guys to do, what I need Drayden to do, is I am getting harassed, massively harassed, by Dirk McGurk sitting in his bar having fun about making sure that we get some people to donate to Magic School Bus for BC besides him. But I told him it'd be much easier if we knew who to give the money to.
I
So
told
can you
Mike
figure
Azariah,
out who
and
we're
I-
supposed to give it
Isn't
to?
it Mike?
You give it
just
to Mike
Azariah.
Is that it?
Right,
Is it just
right.
give it to Mike Azariah?
Send it
Yeah,
to Mike.
contract it, send it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll even tell
Will you
his name.
assholes
Yeah.
in the chat please give some money to Mike Azariah and say this
Yeah.
is for BC so that Dirk
that
leaves
the,
me alone, please?
Yeah.
Is that the
Thanks.
charity
Start
event
some
last
money at the
weekend?
Magic School Bus. Mike
No,
Azariah
that's Mike Azariah. Yeah, he runs the Magic School Bus, so he gives
Yeah, no.
out ships to new players.
This
Tips
is
to new
in-game
players.
charity. This is just giving.
I'm
his-
logging in right now to do this
Yeah, yeah.
so
This-
Dirk
this-
leaves me alone.
Yeah, this is
Dirk
not
is
a
actually
this is not a
donating-
charity run like with real money or real donations.
Dirk-
This is just send him
Dirk-
send him ships and Jita, and he will give them to new players. And it's basically it's a new player retention program that he runs because he tries to help new players, give them stuff, and and he
Dirk
helps
Manic.
educate them a little bit about the game. And so it's him
Drayden,
trying
give me,
to.
give me link permissions.
Oh my god.
But yeah, so I know Dirk's donating 10 billion to Mike Azariah. I'm actually
Holy-
shocked.
I'm giving him $1 billion right now. I'm logging in to do it.
I am shocked he is running out of ships because I know people have given him so much, so he must be like just handing everything out.
Yeah, well, he
nonstop
sent
to
a
new
tweet
players.
out before. He was saying that he was looking for support because it's hard for him to support it all on his own. He does have other people that do support him, but the funds dry out, and he's trying to get a bunch of new people to stick around in the game. So he's
I
looking
linked-
for outside support. So he's looking for podcasters and shows and other big media groups too.
I
maybe
linked
spread
Mike
the word.
Azariah's character in TeamSpeak. Twitch is bugging out on me.
I typed his name in there.
I just want to make sure people get the right Mike
the link.
Azariah.
Put it in show notes if you're in that channel, and I'll put it in the channel.
Just the name.
Drayden, link, right click, evu.com/whatever the fuck.
Evu,
Paste.
yeah.
Oh.
Evu
All right.
character.
I just
so people make sure
donated
that
a
they get-
billion.
They get the
disc.
right character.
Okay. I
There you
linked
go.
it. I linked it in there. Okay, yeah, that's the He has the weird.
billion?
He has the weird stalker face.
It's not a stalker
But
face.
no, it's a stalker
It's
face.
just,
Look at
it's
that
just
picture.
right in your
He's-
face like
he's-
this.
It's
he's
just kinda
safe, though.
goofy.
No, he's a safe guy.
I will say
He's
so
a
my
safe guy.
My cousin, who like has started playing the game like a year or two ago, absolutely loves Mike Azariah. Like he always says hi to him in local, talks to him in like rookie help. So my cousin's like a token new player, and he absolutely adores Mike
Yeah, no,
Azariah.
No, I like Mike a lot, and the cool thing was, so this year I've always seen him in Vegas and various meetups. He did not go to this Vegas, but we did get to see him in Vancouver at least for about an hour or two.
Yeah, we did.
Which
during
was
the
or
cruise.
not not Vancouver. The hell is that? It's the BC capital.
Victoria.
Victoria. There we are. Vancouver's the big city. Victoria's the capital.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Hildefer's here. Yeah. But you know, it's I'll do a shot. Why not? We'll do a shot for the Magic School Bus. Yeah.
Shot for Magic School Bus in honor of Big Country.
Can somebody send me a Rifter fit in game so I can buy Mike Azariah 1,000 Rifters?
Just do auto cannons, scram, AB, web.
Motherfucker, I want to hit right click buy
Yeah,
all.
get your
I
fitting
do
window
not want to
open.
type that out. I swear to God.
DCU. I'm trying to remember. Like
Oh,
Between
man.
you
I
and
just-
Black Ops, I swear that what you guys
Do you not have one of these fits saved, Rain?
I do.
Come on.
I have to log in though.
Who saves a Rifter?
Oof.
fit?
Well, at
You
least
just-
you're logging into Eve during the show
I
instead of all
you
the other
just
fucking games you
throw on
play
whatever
instead.
fits.
My dungeons.
Someone
I
just
also
like
have,
drag
like,
and drop
6.
one into G to local, and I'll buy them.
Are you in game? Are you like
Yeah.
on your main?
Oh no. I'm on my market alt.
Oh,
It's on
no,
the
no.
same account.
Oh, okay.
Oh shit! Commander A's just sent
I
5
can link
billion.
it if you message
Oh my
Rain
god!
Chocolate.
There you go.
I'll have to send him some money.
I
I'm
just
I'm
sent
not
5
that rich,
billion.
but I will send. I'll probably send him $1 billion. That's about what I can afford to give away and still have.
Oh
money to
shit,
buy
there's
ships.
community fits now. Is the community fit include Rifters?
No, probably not. I think it
Aw,
includes like
lame.
exploration ships.
That's
You
weird.
could check.
Like, why would the community fit not include a Rifter? That's like one of the most basic, awesome
They're
ships
still
to fly.
trying. They're
Most
they're just
iconic
starting
ship.
it.
Yeah.
Oh yes,
So
they do.
the-
Yes,
so-
they do.
It's
Okay.
yeah. I was gonna say it's like the pod racer of Eve. It's
Right. Everybody has Rifters.
PvP or PvE?
True.
uh
The noobs probably need a PvP ship, I would think. They can find PvE ships.
I
now.
would,
not
yeah. I don't know if like I'd use a Rifter for PVE as much. I'd give him PvP fit because you could use that for PvP, PvE, but it's basically he's gonna give them a free ship so they can go out and try and do something with it, and they'll figure it out. I think it's more just the hull is what he's really after, but if it's fit with anything, then that'd be good.
So seriously, if you guys have alpha accounts and you're not playing right now, and you're sitting on a shit ton of ISK, give some of it to the damn newbies. Come on,
I just
it's-
gave 5 billion.
be good. Manic, you're the man. Drayden, I'm proud of you. I didn't know you had $1 billion, to be honest.
I have.
Buddy,
I have some
message
money.
me.
I'm not super. I'm not rich, but
On
I'm
Rain?
not super poor.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be buried with my ISK.
I'm just gonna do the community fit.
Taking it with me.
Let me double check it.
I mean,
What are you, the fucking fit
Oh,
police?
don't do that one.
I don't
That
have a ton of
one's- that
liquid
one's
ISK,
slow
but
as fuck.
You
I have a
fucking
lot
fit
of
police?
I have a lot of stuff.
Don't,
Like
don't do that one.
I have a
Don't do
hand.
that
I
one.
mean, if I sold everything, I'd probably have like 15 to 20 billion, but I don't have that much liquid, so.
Bunny, message me. Mine's different. It has a.
Undead, why didn't you give me all your stuff? What'd you give it to fucking T-Soul for? Come on, man.
Where are we
You
now
gotta
on
give
the
him-
show notes?
You know, this is the thing that drives me
are-
crazy. I am like Eve famous. I was on the CSM. I'm on all these fucking talk shows. You know how much stuff, random free stuff I get from people? Nothing.
Oh.
Oh, I got.
I have to buy everything myself, and I
God,
give
it's
away
so
shit
hard
tons of
for you,
stuff.
Briz.
I'm-
Oh,
This is horrible.
Christ.
I-
Oh my
I-
God.
Why do people not give me things for free?
My name is.
Oh,
You know what I
it's
get?
It's
You know what I
so
get?
hard
I'll
for
tell you what I
you.
get.
You want a handout, Brisk? Is that
I
it?
do.
Yeah.
I want handouts. You know what I get? You know what I get? All the Karma Fleet guys send me fucking coveters in 3P because I fucking hate mining. So they send me all their damn mining shit.
I
That's the only
actually-
stuff I get.
No,
I actually haven't
contact
read-
you.
39.
I haven't
That's
read
what I
it in
get.
so long, and you want to know why, Risk?
Ugh. Dirk saying, I know for a fact you're getting a free ship. Oh, all right. That's not true. That's true. You're right.
There was he didn't even tell me
I'm
who it
getting
was,
one.
but there was Dirk kept it confidential, but there was someone that gave Dirk a fuckload
You
of
didn't even laugh at
ISK
my joke.
as a donation way back in the day, and Dirk split it up. He's like, "Here's your portion," and he sent me 100 billion. I'm like, "The fuck."
Okay, all right.
All right.
Guys,
I was
for
like,
those
okay, I
of
don't
you
have to
who,
rap
who,
ever.
who
the
are
rest
not,
of-
for those of you who don't watch the show every week, including apparently my wife, that was a joke.
Yeah, but
I was kidding. I don't need free stuff. I hand out free stuff.
Yeah, sure.
I don't need anything
I'll
free.
give you 5.
I'm sending you a
ISK
coveter,
risk.
but you have to come there.
Oh God, not another fucking coveter! Jesus Christ!
Oh man,
Please no.
covers. Oh,
No
Come
more
get it in
coveters.
Gemini.
give them all.
I have like 18 sitting in.
I'm gonna
in
give you a
39K.
coveter. Like, well, I'm gonna get one coveter put in each region in the game and give them all to you.
Oh my god, that's so fucking cancer.
Yeah, just to fuck your inventory or whatever you call it.
All of my money goes to buy White Claws for my wife. I can't afford to play Eve. Sorry, guys.
Jesus.
So
Oh,
sad.
shit. Big Bill's got a bubble bath going on. Fuck. I didn't even do my shot yet.
Big Bill's bubble bath.
Big Bill and the bubble bath. That makes perfect sense to me. I can totally
Buy
see
that
that.
for $1.
Can someone revoke Bill's posting rights in the Jaeger Photobomb channel for a little bit?
No.
Yeah,
Nope.
that worries
Nope.
me.
I want to
You're
see
along
it.
for the ride now.
Oh God, bubble bath pics. Now that I said it, I guarantee it's gonna be coming.
It can't be not.
You're all welcome for this.
Brisk, log in and check your contracts, please.
Oh fucking
I
God!
hope
What
it's
did you do?
2000.
Dude.
I would send you a prospect, but you can actually use those to blob hunt in, so I'm not going to do that.
Hey, no, that's a good idea. I could do that. Coveters. I have like so
Are
many.
we on to
coveters.
Ether Wars phase?
Yeah,
3?
yeah, yeah. So
Yeah, that's all right. We got
Oh,
other
yeah.
stuff to talk about.
yeah, so
Oh, yeah, it's fucking game. Yeah.
so Aether Wars. I believe it or not, I actually read this article.
Ether Wars.
It's the Aether.
Is it?
Ether?
How do you pronounce
Ether?
this shit?
Aether?
Aether.
Aether?
No, Ether.
That's not spelled like
Ether.
ether. Ether is
Manic Ether
E-T-H-E-R.
is what kidnappers use. That's
I literally
That's
asked the CCP devs
Yeah,
when
you
I
can
was
use Ether,
streaming the
too.
first mass test with them, and they said it was pronounced Ether.
Ether.
I don't
Okay,
believe
What do
great.
they know? They don't even speak
Yeah.
English.
Ether Wars.
yeah.
Well-
I don't.
Touche.
They don't get to name their own product.
Yeah, check
anyway,
your privilege.
Aether Wars, phase 3 is.
Even after you tell him how to pronounce it right, he won't pronounce it correctly.
No, I'm stubborn.
Good job.
Anyway, so phase 3 is coming up. So they did the first test.
Oh, Manic, you fucking asshole.
They've
You
done the
sent me a
second
covenant.
test. Now the phase 3 is going to be 3 separate tests. One is coming up this Saturday, tomorrow. One is next Saturday, and then the final one is going to be the Saturday after that. So tomorrow and next week they're going to be at 1900 UTC, and the very last one that will be on November 23rd is going to be at 20 UTC, and that's going to be the big one where they're going to try to do the world record attempt to have even more people online than B-R or 9tech.
Can I be
4.
bluntly honest with
Yeah.
you guys about this?
Nope.
Nope.
I'm going to be anyway. It
Great.
really pisses me off that they're trying to break the Eve record with this fake bullshit. The
I mean, they're
9-2
trying.
fight was a
They're not
real
breaking
fight, even though it didn't kick
They,
off.
They've tried twice, and they
Yeah,
haven't.
We
no,
were
it's
really
not
there.
bullshit that they're trying. It's bullshit. Whether I don't
But
know if
it's bullshit that they're trying to act like they're going to break the. Even I don't care
They
whether they
just
do
said
it or
they're
not.
trying. They didn't say that.
It's
they're
not a
going
live
to do
game.
it.
It's not a
They're
real
not gonna-
game. It's
so
not the
relax.
game.
It's a
So relax.
stress test of an engine, Briss. That's all
matter.
I
it's
don't.
for.
If they
It
get the
literally
record, then it
doesn't
takes
fire
the
up.
record away from Eve, which is bullshit.
It's not going to.
It's-
I know it
I don't
won't,
think
but
it's going
still.
to. Yeah, it's
Why are
just
you
Back
mad?
to your hypertension.
Because it annoys
Why
me
you
that they're
mad?
even
Calm
they're even
down,
trying
boomer.
because
you
they're
mad?
trying to get people excited and hyped to do this because they're going to try to break Eve's record. Fuck that.
the thing is, like, I don't
Can
care
I
whether they're
comment
trying to
that
break the
people are
record or
too
not. The-
fucking stupid to actually figure out how this mass test shit works. Like, spoiler, you're not gonna be able to get in the
Pe-
game till tomorrow.
People
so
are
go
treating
onto
it like an
Steam,
actual game.
Right.
download it, and fucking wait. And if you can't follow those simple instructions, then maybe you should just not be on the
Well,
internet.
hold on. So this.
Fuck
that-
yes.
Ooh.
Yeah, get them right. No, I'm saying that is one of the things that they were trying to focus on, because they were mentioning this thing that they understood that the last test there was a big confusion.
That's what this is all about.
Because people can't read.
Right.
It's
Well, it
very
wasn't just-
simple. You get the client, you download it, you wait till the mass test starts, you input your code, you hit enter. It is so simple yet
But I
dumb
can't
fucks
connect,
can't fucking
Rain.
read.
I can't
Well, you
connect.
can't
People
connect.
You know,
dumb.
and,
Well, I
but even better,
Let
even better.
people be dumb. Just let
You know what the
people be
worst part?
dumb.
You know what
she
the best
can't.
part
She
about it
can't.
is? Here's the best part about it.
Rain was
The
raging. at
day
people
that
at
they're
the
trying to,
school.
the day that they're
It's
trying to
excellent.
do the World Guinness record breaking bullshit, whatever, is Eve London. What the fuck?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
Portugal.
it
No one's
is
going
Eve
to
London.
Eve London. No one's going to Eve London. Fuck.
I'm going to Eve
Well,
London.
Plenty of
I
people
said
are
They're
no.
going
not
to
even
Eve
gonna break
London.
it anyways, so I
Yeah,
don't know why you're mad.
Londoners.
There are plenty of
And
people
Bristol.
going to Eve London because they want to meet me.
So
Oh, that's
right,
why
so
they're
right here, I'm gonna read you guys some quotes from their Discord.
Stop it.
Sorry to tell you,
Get some help.
sorry to tell you guys, I can't join the game because of a black screen. I fucking wonder why. And then there's someone else who's like, I don't agree with the Steam terms of service, so
Okay,
I can't
thanks for
download
sub.
it. It's like,
Just
oh,
let
okay.
people be
You
dumb.
can't
It's
fucking
She
fine.
can't. No, she can't.
No,
She-
no, I have to tell them
Just
how fucking
ignore them.
stupid they
It's
are.
really
Because
easy
you know
to
what?
ignore
These are
stupid
the,
people.
These are the same dumb fucks
I-
who are gonna breed and who are gonna vote for people and who are gonna end up having the fucking
This is-
future of this goddamn.
This is
planet.
why we have
I
idiocracy,
don't
Manic.
Listen.
Death to stupid people. Okay.
Listen. We're all gonna die someday, and none of this will matter. So
No,
just
it
chill.
will.
How
But
dare you
until,
quote
but
that?
yeah, until
How dare you.
Get
you.
into the better part.
I
You
tr-
stole my
I-
childhood,
I
man.
trust
Day-
Elon Musk will come out with
One
a chip.
day, our entire species will go extinct. The sun will blow up. The Earth will be no more.
No, the
and
sun
it's gonna
actually
be
won't
awesome.
blow up. The sun is going to
Okay,
just.
you know what
Yeah,
I
it
mean.
doesn't
You know what I mean.
explode,
You
Drayden.
fucking nerd.
Ours won't.
I thought it explodes because it's gonna hit Earth when
No,
it
it-
explodes.
it-
No,
burns
it's
out
not
and
massive.
dies
It's not gonna
slowly.
super. It's not gonna super. It's
It'll
gonna go
I
just
expand.
do a
didn't say
normal
supernova,
nova.
I said explode. It's gonna explode.
It's
gonna
not gonna
explode.
explode. It's just
It'll
going to
collapse.
I'm
slough off
Googling
its
it.
outer layers. It's
Are we really
it's-
talking about this?
No,
Well, I guess
let's
it
not-
makes sense since this is space.
Oh,
Oh my Christ.
Yes! Yes!
Yeah, get that dirt. No, I
okay.
I
so
could
it
go
becomes
into
a red
this, but
giant, which is what swallows the Earth.
we will go. Well, it may or may not. It may actually throw Earth out of its orbit and.
I'm so
cause
glad
That's
I
not like
derailed.
There's-
the
there's- they
conversation
don't know
into this.
exactly
I'm
for sure,
so
but anyway,
glad.
Let's not go into that because I'll
No,
go
I want to talk about how
wanna-
we're all gonna die one day.
Oh well, I
Yeah,
mean, let's
it's
do it.
clearly not gonna be because of stupid people who don't know how to fucking log into a fucking.
None
math
of
It
this
might
matters.
actually be
None of this
because of that,
matters.
Rain. Because when you don't log in enough, that depletes the hydrogen fuel supply in the core of the sun, which then causes a contraction of the core because the
Oh,
we
you
need
sons
to
of
stop the
bitches
internet.
had to
the
fucking
nuclear,
start
the
talking
nuclear
space
fusion,
shit with
the
Drayden
nuclear
in here.
fusion pressure going out
I
is not
swear
enough
to
to
God,
counteract
if you're
the.
reading this off the internet, I'm gonna be so mad.
No,
He's
I'm
not.
no.
Drayden knows
I-
all
I-
this. Drayden, tell us what heavy waters. Tell us what heavy waters.
Why are you so focused? Heavy water is simple. No, I'm talking about the solar.
is it really
I'm talking about
fat
the death
water?
of our sun, Rain.
It's water with a lot of calories.
No, it's.
Oof.
No, but so nuclear fusion will slow down, which means there's not enough nuclear pressure pushing out, but gravity is pulling
Brisk,
in, so
are
the
you
core
okay,
will
sir?
the core will
What's wrong with
shrink,
your
but the
face?
outer layers are further away from the center of gravity, so they will start to slough off because of the nuclear fusion, and then eventually you will, and that's when it swells out to a red giant. But then you will go through
Somebody
what's
get
called a
Brisk some
helium
Tylenol.
flash.
I hate to interrupt this, but I need
Yeah.
somebody to sell me 1,000 rifters and 3,000 autocannons. Thank you.
Fine, you know what? All right. If Drayden gave $1 billion to Magic School Bus,
I haven't
and
yet,
he's
but I
already
will.
talking fucking space bullshit.
Okay.
I can't just give $1 billion. I got to give 5. So I'm
Okay.
upping my
Well,
pledge. I'm
Blazing
doing it right
Bunny
now.
needs a bunch of 1,000 rifters.
We need rifters, people.
Actually, I might have.
I'm
some
matching
myself.
Dirk half, and the rest of you fuckers should do the same thing.
How about you don't
You
call
want
people
some
fuckers when
fuck?
you're asking for
No,
money?
I am not going to do that because you guys let Drayden start talking about space stuff.
Donate,
you
you
deserve it.
fuckers! Give your money
Who-
away,
who-
you fuckers!
Do it.
Who are you donating to, Bunny? Is that your
Mike
alt?
Azariah.
Give it to
No, I-
Manic.
no,
Oh,
just,
or to,
oh,
no,
no,
not
oh,
to Manic.
oh,
Give it to
oh,
Mike
Rifters.
Azariah.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gonna
Giving
swallow.
you
Give it to Manic
60
too.
Manic
Stop,
Velocity
I'm giving you
runs
60
the...
rifters.
Wait,
He
no,
does
hold, everyone, hold on. But if you give him the rifters, give them to Bunny so he can send them all to Mike.
Or I have buy orders
everybody
up
send
just
your
so you
ISK
make
to
money
Manic
off of this.
Velocity.
Just
He's
Oh.
sell it to me.
subscribed to the game.
Just
and he
sell
needs the
rifters and
ISK.
Jita. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Just sell rifters and Jita, people. Sell rifters right
Sign
now.
my contract.
Buy rifters and then sell them to him.
I'm about to give this dude like way more fucking frigates than he'll ever need.
Nice.
If he manages to go through 1,000 frigates, then I don't know what to do.
All right, I'm not gonna finish the sun thing because it would take another like 5 minutes, and Brisk will have a
Thank you.
fucking cranial meltdown or aneurysm.
There's
or
something I
whatever you
wanted
call
to
it.
ask too, and you fucking space nonsense fucked me up, and now I don't remember.
What happens?
Was it about?
Was it
You
about?
you guys need to know if you
Oh.
mention anything related to real life space, Drayden's going to talk for an hour.
I
He
know,
turns
I'm
into
sorry.
freaking Caleb when he does that.
I do. I'm the I'm the space Aranya. No, okay. So anyway, Aether Wars 3. We weren't done with that.
Nope.
Take the fucking world record. You're focused on the world record. That's not the whole point. They're doing stress
focus
tests on
on
the
that.
engine. That's the main point that matters.
Drayden, do you know the goal of what they're trying to do with this engine?
So
Drayden, do you
from
know?
what I
He knows.
gathered, the
That's
goal
what I
is
was
that
Do you even know what an engine is, Drayden? What
Do
the
you
fuck?
Fuck,
even
no,
know?
I passed
Oh
it.
no,
It's-
you're gonna make him talk for an
okay.
hour.
So when you combust,
Oh my god.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Solar
It's
flare.
essentially
He was not
an
kidding.
engine. It's basically the Unreal 4 engine, but it's like some cloud-based thing that uses. I don't know the exact things of it, but it's supposedly
What are clouds?
going to
Clouds?
like
water
Cumulus
vapor.
or
Nimbus?
Nimbus.
Cumulonimbus.
Nimbus ones are good. But it's supposed to be able to handle massive amounts of clients at the same time, and the goal of this is to make a engine infrastructure that they can apply Eve to in the future if this ends up working, that will then allow Eve to handle these 4, 5, 6,000 person fights without needing tie-dye. And so you can actually have real-time fights without needing tie-dye and have tons of shit going on, drones and everything, and the system should be able to handle it. That's the eventual ultimate goal of this thing, but it's in very early testing, so it's not there yet. Because I remember... and the one thing that I saw with this is that I saw the first test. I didn't participate in the first test, but I was watching Rain stream it, and it seemed very chunky, laggy, and all that stuff. I was in the second test, and there was a lot of rubber banding and disconnects and all that stuff. And I was looking in this article. I don't even think I've posted it, so give me a second. Well, it's not really an article. It's a dev blog. But they were saying, as far as the changes that they've made for this time around that's supposed to help this, is improved prediction and smoothing of the simulation. So, okay, so things might be smoother, and improved prediction, that's essentially where your client-side thing just runs the stuff as if it's running normally, even if the server hasn't caught up yet, and the server will eventually take your commands and, make them work out, and I'm assuming that's what that means. But that doesn't necessarily help with Eve, because Eve is very... it has to be responsive to, at real time. And all the other changes they're making is just okay, we're adding 4 ships instead of 3, improved UX, different firing characteristics, they're adding countermeasures, stuff like that. So they're changing, aspects, but they're not changing the infrastructure. And if the infrastructure seems like it rubber banded and lagged a bunch with only 3,500 pilots on, how the hell is this supposed to be some record breaking thing and not have any lag? If that's the whole point of the engine, that's what I don't understand.
I guess you'll have to join the mass test and see what happens.
I don't know. Well, I could join the mass test the next 2 weekends, but the weekend after that, it's literally going to be going on not only during Eve London, but so on the 23rd, we're having a show on the 22nd. It's going to be me and LB and Mannix said he'll go. Everyone else is gone. Blazer, are you there for the 22nd?
For what? I'm sorry.
Oh, in 2 weeks. Are you going to be here?
Yeah.
Okay, so it'll be us 4. But Dirk's gone, Brisk's gone, Rain's gone. Everyone's gone.
Where are they going?
Eve
hell.
London.
Oh.
Yeah, Brisk will be in London.
I'm not.
Rain's got
I
something
thought
else going
nobody was
on.
going to Eve London.
Dirk won't be here, and Hyper said he's going to be busy with work or something like that. Anyway, the next day, Saturday, the 23rd, we're going to be doing a donation drive thing for INN. They're doing I'll have to get more details on what exact charity it's for, but they're doing a whole charity stream for that entire weekend, and we said that we would do a show on Saturday. It's going to be midday. It's going to be after Push to Talk and before the Meta Show, I believe, or vice. I forget which one goes which, but we're going to be right in
That's
that
right.
middle 2-hour slot, and so it's going to be, waking up the next day after a normal open comms, and we're going to probably just be drinking coffee. Well, I don't drink coffee, but people are going to be having coffee. I'm going to be
Gatorade.
sipping on some Gatorade with, some whiskey in it or something.
H2O.
Some H2O.
Gatorade.
Some dihydrogen
H2O.
oxide.
Is it heavy water?
No, it's not. It could be, but
I
it's
swear to
not.
God.
So we're gonna be doing that. We'll throw another reminder out, but so in a couple weeks. And the big record breaking mass test is right in the middle of that show. It's a 2-hour show that we're gonna be doing that Saturday, and this starts at hour 1 of the show. So I won't be there. I'm not gonna be adding to that world record. That won't happen.
Well, they'll miss you.
I'm
That's a
sure they
shame.
will. Like
They'll
they're
be
gonna
really
get
sad.
one. They're gonna get one away. It's gonna be like a Sort Dragon of. They're gonna come up short, Sort Dragon style. Just be 12 players short of the world record.
And it will be all your fault.
Yeah.
Trey.
All,
Why don't you
And
talk
yours.
play it on
Jesus
stream during that
Christ.
time?
No one wants to watch Aether Wars Street. Well, you know what?
People watch mine. People also
I
watch
said
Blade
we
Runner
should just
too.
play. It's November 2019. We should just play Blade Runner for that show. Just be like, here's the show. You can watch Blade Runner with us. It's the future.
watch Blade
The
Runner.
future
If
is
you-
now.
Stream.
If
I
you
don't know if
got
you can do that.
if you got copyright strike for using a clip from a Little John song, imagine if you
Yeah,
played
we're
an
gonna-
entire movie.
Well, that's
We're
how
gonna
we might
hand
drop
for
our
that.
way out.
Wow.
It's the last open comms show.
The
It's
last
never
one
coming
ever.
back.
the last
The last
INN
show on
show
INN.
ever.
It's like just
Welcome
the
to the
face of
Iron
Harrison
Jerry
Ford to
Street
the end
and
before he
Dan.
closes the door. When he closes the door, it's like that's the end of open comms.
That's the end of.
So
No.
that was Aether Wars.
Oh shit, Lieutenant Dan, I'm sorry, I missed your sub, man. And I also Malkath, I think I called your sub out, but thanks, Dan. I know I've been running my mouth and haven't been watching the chat for a little bit.
You
You're
guys
allowed
missed
to
my
skip stuff every
ribs
once in a
joke.
while. It happens.
I saw it, Rain.
So, what else has happened? I guess we had two other big news items that happened this week, and I think the MER coming out, that's big, but it didn't show. I don't think it
The
showed a lot
MER
of stuff
seems
other
pretty
than
normal. The only thing with do we wanna
everything.
go-
Everything has bounced back.
Well, I know.
from
So the general
pre-blackout.
MER it's pretty standard. It's the same as every month. Delve is cranking shit out, like everything else. Forge is selling the most stuff and all that. But I remember, I think it was Big Bill and LB. You guys were talking about wormhole economics, and the things like with the
Yeah, a little
MER,
bit.
it doesn't really show any wormhole stats on there, at least as far as I saw. But he was talking about.
It never shows wormhole stuff.
I know, but he was talking about how wormhole income was a significant portion of overall EVE income, even though it's a very small minority of players in it. So they're making shitloads of money. And LB, you were saying that the money stays in the holes, though, because they just buy everything, but they keep that stuff in the hole. But if they're buying outside of the hole, doesn't that send the money out into the general market?
Yeah, so think of it like the tourist industry. You have people coming from out of state. They come in, and they eat at your restaurants, and they stay in your hotels, and they buy your souvenirs, and then they fuck off. It's not really affecting anything except for the tourist industry. You know what I mean? So they come in, they buy their ships, they buy their modules, they buy their ammo, they go back in the hole.
I know,
Sometimes they
but
pop
that
out
means
an
that the
LSAC
money
and
they're
they shoot some
spending on
people.
stuff is going into the regular market. So the money's not
Right.
staying in the hole. The money is going out. Every time they come out to buy shit and go back in the hole, that money is coming out of the hole and into the general market. So
But
I
a,
get-
a lot of it is stuff that they buy to rat in the holes, and that stuff dies in the holes.
it doesn't matter if the stuff
the
dies.
comes
The
out and
money's
then it
already
goes
come
back
out
in.
of the hole and gone into the market. If the ship that was
I
bought
have to-
dies,
I have
that
to
doesn't mean
go,
the money
guys.
goes away with
Thank
it.
you for the show. I love you all.
Okay, bye, man. Love you.
Take care,
Oh,
man.
see
Bye, man.
Peace.
Good night, Manny. All right, Dirk is saying in the chat that shit hasn't bounced back. If the ratting numbers are back up to where they were
Oh, we gotta
pre-blackout.
fix cams.
Oh, you were so close. I thought you had it for a second there. Who the fuck
I
am
mean,
I?
the mining numbers
I
are
had
not
to
back
switch
up,
the
but the
cams.
ratting
You're
numbers are
It'll
back.
take me you're Delana Ivo now.
Swag queen of pandemic horde.
Wait,
I'm
is Di-
Dirk.
Oh, there you go.
Loud
You're
noises.
Delon. I'm blazing now. Hey, I got way more attractive. That's great.
Who do I
Aw,
get to be?
thanks.
I'm Rain.
And a lot younger.
We
Yeah,
we
you're
had
the
a plan
hot
for
one,
that,
baby.
Brisk. We had a plan. You just don't want to be part of it.
I know. I'm trying.
This will actually be a pretty quick one.
This is really funny watching like Drayden move us all around.
I
and
it,
shit.
it's
He's real fast. He's getting
It's
faster.
kind of
at
making
doing
me a
this.
little bit
It's
sick to my
impressive.
stomach. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh no, I'm Delana.
I was just moving people where the name. Wait, whoops, that's not
Oh,
right.
no, I'm Dirk.
I'm just moving people where like Rain and Blazing's names were already here, so I just put them in that spot.
I remember what I wanted to say about Vegas. Has anybody looked at the skins for it yet? In
Fuck
game?
yeah, they're beautiful.
Oh yeah,
The Vegas
the treat
skins are badass.
Yeah.
I'll redeem
Oh
mine
okay.
right now.
I wish I
Have
don't
you
have
guys
any
seen the
pics.
London skins yet?
I
They're
have
very
not.
Union Jackish. I kind of like it. They're like red and blue.
I
with
have
some
a
white.
gif. I had a GIF floating around somewhere on one of the Discord servers of the Ikitursa. Once it starts to fire, all the blinking lights turn red and shit. It's super cool.
Ooh.
They are really knocking it out of the park. The art team is with the skins for all of the events. They're like badass. It's pretty fucking
Yeah,
cool.
because I remember, as soon as I turned those in, I looked at them like, these are fucking sweet. So, because it was, what were the ships that I got 3 skins. Is that what you guys got?
Yeah, it's all 3
Yeah.
of the Tech 2 subcap holes for
Okay.
Triglavians,
You had a
except for
Nurgle and Icky and the other one.
the
I forget.
Draugr.
The
Draugr, yeah.
right.
Yeah,
You should have a Nurgle because
they're
Nurgle's
very
the best
slick.
ship.
I don't have any pics on hand. I should have had those ready, but
Ashtarothi posted a bunch of them on Imgur, so if you want to look for him, you can find it.
I mean, I'm sure you could just Google them as well, and they would come up. But
Wait, did you guys? Rain's gone. Drayden, did you
What up?
guys
I
get?
have it.
Did you guys get skins for the cruise?
Yeah,
We did.
We got a lot of them.
What did you get?
We got the Matagu Seabeast skins for like 3 Caldari ships.
The green ones.
Oh yeah,
the green ones, yeah, they was pretty
Okay.
cool. That was a nice surprise because that was not something that was announced it was happening. All of a sudden, it was just Greygal. Was it Greygal or was it Falcon? I think it was Falcon.
Greygal.
Well, Greygal said, but I think Falcon made a tweet or something.
Oh,
Rip Falcon. God damn it. Another thing he's done.
Falcon watching out for us. and
Yeah,
stuff.
but he said something like, "Hey, for the people on Cruises Eve, they sent the skins out, and that was really awesome." So I don't like these half-gallon bottles. They make like weird chugging noises when you pour them. Not chugging, but just
chugging.
just liquid noise.
Typing in this code, by the way, is the absolute fucking worst. Jesus.
I wish, there's no way
Rain,
to,
have you not typed in these codes in every game you've
there's
ever
no way
played?
to there's no way to
No,
Copy
normally I copy
paste.
and paste.
There you go. That's what happened. When
I wish they would have had like one of those what are those the square
if you were
box
Gen
like,
X, Rain,
digital codes?
you would have had to punch in those codes for all the games that you played.
Okay.
Oh, I
boomer.
remember
QR,
that.
yeah, QR code, yeah.
CD keys.
They'd give you a
God
CD
damn
case, and on the back of it, you'd have to type all that shit in.
Yeah,
and
Q,
this was
Q,
That's
before.
That's
this
what
was
us,
before anybody
us
knew how to fucking
Gen X
code
guys
it.
had to deal with.
yeah,
So like, if you typed the entire code into one block, it wouldn't just start transferring blocks. You fucking had to hit tab over and over again. It usually took you one try to figure that out.
yeah. I wish the QR code. That's what I was looking for. I wish they just had like cards with QR codes. Would be
We didn't
pretty
have
nice.
a way to
I'm
use
gonna
them back
claim
then.
my Draugr.
Well, back
skin
then, but I mean
because
now,
everyone gets-
for the skin.
Before
codes.
that,
I've had all
games
my
used to come on a
friends ask
cartridge,
me.
and if the way it came was the way it was. So if it was fucked up, that was it.
Yep.
Yep.
Think about that. No DLC, no patches.
Nope.
I
Game came out
remember
of the
back in
box,
the day, you
you're
wanted to buy a
done.
game, you had to go down and get a CD for it.
These are terrible.
And if it sucked, you were so screwed because
Yeah.
GameStop wouldn't give you any fucking money for it back.
Yeah, I remember.
Remember demo discs? You buy a copy of PC Gamer,
Yeah.
and it would come in the demo disc.
I remember.
Dude, the
used to-
Draugr skin looks so pretty. I'm
used to
actually gonna
always
buy
get
a
those
Draugr later.
50 free hours of AOL online. Those were sweet too.
Gross. I get nonstop shit
AOL
because all my email accounts are still AOL from
What?
2000.
Oh
Yeah.
no, you actually used AOL email?
Mm-hmm. Still do.
No.
Oh, I totally had.
Wait, AOL's
I
still
was
a company?
AOL when I was younger. I mean,
Yeah.
I think AOL first had their first web browser when I was like 14 or 15 or something. Kind of cool.
Damn. I think they had their first web browser when I was
When you were born.
Something
around
nostalgia,
there.
something.
Yeah, something old time stuff.
Just because we weren't alive for the Cold War, Briss, doesn't mean we're
I technically
That young.
was.
Come on.
I was 5
Sorry,
when,
man.
War?
Low blow.
You weren't around for the Cold War?
I think I was I think I was 5 when Boris Yeltsin was put in office.
You guys were born in the 80s, right? Well, I don't blaze you.
I was
but the
85.
rest
I'm
of-
a 90s kid, excuse me.
Shh,
You're a 90s
you
kid?
don't even know what the Cold War was.
Millennial.
Yeah,
Yes,
no,
I do. Like, we have fucking history books, you idiot.
Shh, you have to read books.
You
I lived
idiot.
I lived it,
I can
Rain.
look up anything I want.
I had to
about
do
history.
nuclear
You end up
drills in
fucking
school.
Did you really?
No, I didn't. Bay of Pigs, Rain, I lived it.
Okay, boomer.
Grenada.
Grenada.
All right.
So what happened? Sig Waffle left waffles.
That's
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
Wow, we just drop it.
Oh.
Nick Waff left Waffles, and then Waffles disbanded.
Yep.
Right. So
Well,
Nick
to be
Waff
honest,
is
I mean,
Horde.
that's
So like
One-
Snig Wafa is like one of those alliances that's kind of like Red versus Blue. Also, like Blue Fed it's an alliance, but it's also not. It's just one big ass corp, like Pandemic
Yeah,
Horde used to
yeah.
be. So, saying like they left and then the alliance died, the alliance pretty much was the corp.
right. So when they left, it died. It's kind of crazy. But they're all going to Horde now, right?
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
Which
gonna,
is where
they're
Corpse
actually
will die
more now.
anyways, right?
I
they're
was
they're
talking
gonna
to
be a
all my Waffle
sig
bros.
in Horde, is what they were saying. They're gonna basically be doing their Waffles thing, just as a Horde entity.
Neat.
Neat.
No reason not to, really. I mean,
rip
you
Snig
kind of
Wafa.
you kind of
Okay.
lose the ability to just do whatever you want. So like if Horde ever like decides that they want to use the entire alliance to go fight somebody, you're kind of fucked, right? Or are you not? I don't know. I'm not really sure what the conditions are.
The weird thing about this is they were saying that the removal of Blackout has kind of caused a massive inactive play. I guess I'll call it a plague. It's not really a plague, but a big inactive swath through their alliance. But Blackout was only around for like a month or two. So
Well, but
what
Drain,
were
you
they
remember
doing
when we had
before that?
Graf
So
on?
before Blackout, whatever Waffles was doing it to be active, did that just
But-
not continue after it went away?
Not
You
really.
guys remember?
no.
You guys remember when we had Grath on? What was it like? 3 weeks ago? 4 weeks ago? I think it was a month ago.
It's about 4 or 5, yeah.
It was in the
wild.
middle
I
of
mean-
Blackout because I remember seeing all the Twitter posts of like Grath came back and joined Waffles, and so did Jeff Rader, and
Yep.
like a whole lot of other old.
All
PL
those
dudes.
old guys came back. Exactly what Bunny
But
said.
then when
They came
Blackout-
back for Blackout, and
But then when
when
they got turned
Blackout
off, they all
got
left.
yanked back, they went crazy pissed off because it was finally the. I mean, it's what Grath told us, in the show. There was finally a thing that CCP did to benefit the hunters, the guys that want to go out in PvP. That's made it easier for them for the first time ever. Normally they're getting nerfed to hell, and he's right. And then after 2 or 3 months, people bitching, they roll it back, and that's it. So a lot of those guys quit. So I can understand why Reza and those guys decided to take a step back and say like,
Did you say
I don't want to do it
Reza?
anymore.
Reza.
Reza, whatever.
Is it
Reza.
Reza?
It's Reza.
Well, it was kind
say
of like a
Reza. I
double.
say
It was like a
Reza.
double
It's
slam
Reza.
too, right? Because the Blackout.
I
went
call
away,
it Billy
and then
Viley
the-
too, so deal with it.
Oh, yeah.
The Blackout went away, and then right alongside of that, the Sino change happened. So like escalations got a lot harder to do unless you learned how to do it, and it was.
I was
I
actually
can understand a
sad
lot of
about that.
people's frustrations.
I was a little sad about the Black, because solo PvP is something I never did in the past, and when Blackout came out, I actually went out and started doing that, and then now because I'm not very good at like getting into a system, descanning quickly, pinning pointings, and like nailing people down before they can realize them there. It was more of I just ran around in the recons that were descan immune, and I was like, I got all the time. Get off if no one sees me on the gate, get off the gate and just sit in a safe and just have all the time in the world to descan them down and find them, pinpoint exactly what anomaly they're in, and then go kill them. So I was
Honestly, it
having fun
was the
doing
best.
that.
It was the best month of Blops I've had in a long time. Where we were just because you were able, instead of having to have everybody formed up and just sitting around with your thumb in your ass, you just had to, you could just go into a system. Hey, I see some dudes mining, then ping and form and stuff like that. We were in.
I'll be
Sinners was
honest.
in
It's like
Great
I said
Wildlands for that.
before. You're absolutely right, Bunny. I mean, I'll be honest. I know a lot of people didn't like Blackout. I know that it was, bad for the game, everything.
Was it
But we
bad
had
for
a
the game?
ton of fun. We had a lot of fun. We could finally do gate camps again because there was no intel saying, "Oh, there's a gate camp on X gate." We'd have random guys jumping giant shit into us, and it was so much fun.
I actually
That's
I lost my my curse that I was running through all your guys' space with Brisk, killing stuff. I lost that, and I shouldn't have lost it because I was just like, I'm just traveling through this belt, and I forgot that I was traveling through a constellation, and there was this pipe, but there was a way around the other side. It was just an extra like 5 jumps. And when I came through the first time, I saw that there was a big gate camp on one of the gates. I'm like, oh, okay, I won't go. I'll go. I went around the other way. Coming back, I forgot all about it. It was just gating, just system to system. I'm like, it's fine. What can I do other than descanning the systems? And I jumped through the gate, and I was in a bubble. There was like 30 people on the gate. I'm like, oh, I'm fucked. Okay, and so I died. And then I looked at my local, and I wasn't paying attention because, who watches local and Blackout. And apparently, before I jumped through the gate, some guy's like, "Hey, NC dumbass," because there's some guy that was red to us. He's like, "Hey, NC dumbass, you're about to jump into a big gate camp," and I didn't fucking read it until after I jumped into the gate camp and died. I'm like, "Fuck!" I even got warned about it. And
They even tried to help you.
yeah, I got warned
But
about
Drayden,
it by
that
a
was
red,
also-
and just I jumped into it anyway.
Yeah, during Blackout though, that was when you got like your first solo kill and all that shit too, right?
Wasn't
Yeah,
my
that's when you
fir-
went
wasn't
into
my
inner
first solo
space and were
kill.
fighting by yourself and didn't die.
No, it wasn't
That
my
was
first
good.
solo kill. It was my first solo kill in a long time.
Aw.
I've done a couple solo roams, but it's just not something I really did much because I'm terrible at it. But it made it a lot easier in Blackout. Like, even if you're not good at solo roaming, you could do that shit in Blackout. I think I've killed like a badger before on my own. I felt pretty accomplished about that.
I have over
impressive.
300 confirmed solo kills. Kind of a big deal around here.
I want to go back to what
I would have
Briss
killed
said
you
a
if I
second
hadn't
ago.
burned my fucking
Go for it.
guns out.
That made me laugh. so
Was
much.
Blackout really that bad for the game?
I don't think
Or,
it
like,
was.
had it- Or if they had stayed the course and just not caved under all the complaints and the bitching and moaning, would it have stabilized?
I don't think they caved at all. I'm pretty sure CCP said we're gonna end this after 2 months. We decided that and just never announced it.
Well, they said
Don't
it
know why
was. They
people
said it was
talk-
indefinite.
I don't know
They
about
said it
that.
was
They said it was
indefinite, which means they
temporary.
had no. They're like, it might go forever.
They had
We might
no
end it.
Planned or communicated deadline, but that didn't
Yeah.
mean forever, and that didn't.
I
mean,
think
like,
a lot of
gone
the
forever.
farmers didn't like it. You know, the people that just wanted to rat and mine didn't like it because they were the ones that were on the short end of the stick with it, kind of, because they lost that safety blanket of reliable intel. But I think people that just like to go out roaming in PvP liked it. Even if even if you're just running around with like you, maybe a few other friends, it's like, well, you might run into a group that you have no clue about that's way bigger than you get your asses handed to you. But I felt like it was a lot more interesting and a lot more exciting because even just flying around, even in your own space, felt, more risky than normal. Still felt safe, but it was still had that extra level of risk
think
to it.
Blackout was like the first time I actually like ratted too. It made so much isk.
Yeah, but I mean,
And
like,
I lost quite a few ships actually to rats. Too.
I'd almost say it was a backwards thing because in your own space it had that extra level of risk, but in enemy space you felt safer than you normally
Not
would.
safer.
No.
It felt even, like you had a chance. So like
Right.
you just don't spike a system and everything in that system runs to the closest citadel because now you can do that.
Yeah, well,
Like,
Right,
back in
exactly
the-
right. Correct.
Back before citadels were a thing, if you weren't ratting in a fucking system that had a station, then you weren't safe. You either had to go to a POS or you just fucking wing it and hope that your defense fleet saves you.
well,
But
there-
like I said, whenever Blackout was a thing, you could just go in and sit and like, okay, well, there's 3 Ishtars and there's a carrier here. I'm going after the carrier and I'm about to ping my buddies up.
right, and I wouldn't say I didn't necessarily mean I guess safe in enemy space, but you didn't feel because you go to enemy space now where there's local. The second you pop into a system, you know you're getting reported intel, and you know that they have jump bridge systems all around. So if you go into any kind of pipe system, you know you're going to get cornered, and you're fucked if they're paying attention and forming up in any kind of numbers if you're by yourself. So solo roaming this solo PvP, it felt like you had options and ways out, even if you went and killed people and you got reported after killing someone, that they would still have to find you. Like, it was still a cat and mouse game as opposed to, he killed me here. If we get a fleet here on this gate and a fleet here on this gate, they're fucked. They either have to log out or come through us. That's the only options. So
But the other half of the issue and the bigger part is whenever that was a thing, right? You had a gang running through your space. Well, now you have to get rid of them because if you have people who aren't paying attention, they're going to get fucking murdered by that
Right.
gang. Whereas now, I'm not going to mention any names, but in my current area of space where I play in, nobody forms to fight us. We just run off the fucking ADOMs or run out of the belts or run off their moons whenever we spike local. Like, it's really pretty much right now, if we want guaranteed kills out of hunting and Black Ops, we'll have to Blue Scout, which is so much fucking work for what is essentially little reward. And that's the part that frustrates me more than anything, myself and a lot of other people.
We need a war. We need a big giant.
Before
fucking
you get a war, you have to
Big,
find
juicy
a
war.
fucking way
There
to
needs to
make
be a
it worth
reason for
fighting
a
a
war.
war.
First of all,
Yeah.
Brisk,
I know.
how about you as initiative stop pairing up with Imperium and backstab or something, and maybe we'll
Why
get a
would we
fucking war.
backstab our best friends, the only people who have ever not backstabbed us? Why would we do that?
It
Were they
goes
the only
beyond
people who
that,
gave
though.
the
There
opportunity
needs to
to
be a
backstab?
reason
'Cause
for
you
war.
can't
Just-
No,
target
we've been backstabbed by a ton of people.
just
We're
having
the
a
only
war
ones
for
who
the
have
sake
not
of a war
backstabbed.
is,
Okay,
is
who?
having a war for the
Has-
sake of a
has
war is kind of
backstabbed
boring,
you?
and people
Has
don't
Pan
really
Pan?
care.
I'm not
Yes.
asking about
Ham
current
Fams
jobs.
backstabbed us. CO2 backstabbed us. We've been on. We were in Bob. We've dealt with all these guys in the past. I mean,
Yeah,
at the
well,
end of
just
the
break away
day,
and be your own independent.
Aside from coalitions and blues and all that shit, there's no reason to fight a large scale
Right.
war. The only reason Tess did it is because, just cause, I guess. I don't know, but like there,
we need to fight a
it's not
big,
like
big, long scale war. I
it's
don't care.
not
We have
like-
to come up with excuses. Somebody
There's
fuck
no-
somebody's
the
mother
big-
or something, and let's go have a fight. Come on.
Oh my god, you just reminded me of that whole wicked princess nonsense all over
Oh
again.
shit!
There you go. Exactly.
I'm almost wondering if you remember back when they made nullsec self-sufficient by increasing the resources and all that stuff. I wonder if that kind of killed, because the idea of that was now people can shrink down into smaller space, which will allow more entities out in nullsec, which will then provoke more fights potentially. And I wonder if it did the opposite, to where everyone's just content in their space and there's no reason and no logistical way for them to
But
like honestly like have any
This
kind of
problem started way
want
after
to,
that,
to
man.
hold more space. So there's no reason to take. There's no reason for PanFam to go after Imperium, because Imperium has their space, we have ours, and it's like
Think about it though, like
There's no
in the
real
current
driver, conflict
mechanics,
driver.
and they've announced the change that kind of helps us. But in the current mechanics, I guarantee you, if you were to look at what date all of the Imperium structures are set to, it's probably set to the same date and the same time. So that means no matter how much shit you reinforce, you can only follow up on a certain number of timers before they all just repair themselves.
it's a big slog.
Yeah, Tuesday at
Right.
1800 is what Bob said in chat. So the get away from being able to pick your day as a defender will help some, but it doesn't help all the way, because you still have just I'm gonna set my timers in AU time zone and just blob up as hard as I can.
Wait. So, curiosity question, because I never understand when people complain about time zone tanking. Because if I'm gonna have an asset that I want to defend, why would I not want to defend it when I am actually able to play the game?
So there used to be a counterplay for it, right? So back in the day when you had to fight over posses, you put enough stront, so you're
Right,
like
you
you had to-
stront the stront
you use you used a little bit of math, and you're like, well, I know these guys playing this time zone. I want my tower to come out in this time zone. I put this much stront in, so it tanks it. But you could also do what's called stront coasting, which is you knock the shields down enough where they can't change the stront level to affect the timer, and then you come back later and finish it off. So it's not a timer they expected. Citadels in the current iteration with the whole time zone tanking, there's no counterplay to it. That's just the time it is. There's nothing you can do. There's no stupid mini game or hacking or anything like that to fix it.
Well, then
Well,
in the past, then someone like me just wouldn't have a POS or Citadel or whatever the
Well-
fuck with stront, because there'd be no point if I have a day job and I have to work that day job and there's no way I can get out of it. I'm not gonna have an asset to where I lose it because I literally can't go home and play the game to defend it.
The thing with the
Could you
Australian
make the
time
same
zone,
argument that
but
they,
that thing.
that's how
but
it is
then-
now?
But Rain, they weren't. Those types of things weren't designed for single players without groups.
Nobody
the whole
has-
point of
nobody
posits
has a
was
strong
That was
as-
how you controlled Saab back in the day.
yeah, nobody has a strong Australian time zone. So if you time it for Australian time zone, neither fleet is going to be very strong. And
Well, unless
it's
you're
a lot
darkness
easy-
or you're fucking
but
winter code.
it's
Chinese
very
time zone,
easy
yeah.
to defend a Citadel with a minor fleet against another minor fleet. So if neither side has very strong numbers, I'm assuming that's why you time it for Australian time zone, because neither side is going to bring strong numbers, but then that kind of benefits the defender in that point. I think.
The bottom line is, and I think Bunny was alluding to it, but I'll tell you right now, the mechanic needs to be changed so that it's random. Period. Make it random. Make both sides have to form at random times that they are not aware of, and then it's fair. And you hope you
Or-
get a good roll. If you don't, fine. Next time you do it again.
I'll
But the
even
reality,
settle.
allowing defenders to set stuff, it puts too much benefit on the defenders, and that's why none of this shit ever dies.
Or
They
I'll
have
even
made structures too safe. You need to fix that. It's not cool.
honestly settle if you can pick your time and pick your, well, not your day, because that's really irritating, but pick your time, but give me a way to counterplay it. So like if I can hold the fleet on grid and hack it and just pick a different timer, then I should be able to do that. Kind of like the stront coasting thing.
I mean, exactly. There should be a way that the attacker can move something to his advantage by doing something.
See,
get-
I think I
provide some
must
kind
have
of
like a
counterplay to it.
completely different play style, because like if I couldn't defend something, then I just simply wouldn't have it. Like, so if you had to, like, let's say like there was no option besides Citadels then I just wouldn't live somewhere in space.
But that's the thing. There are, and that's why.
So yeah,
you know,
so I would live out in NPC station.
But
because
and
I feel
that's
like-
exactly the point. That's why I think in addition to that, they need to make more NPC nullsec, so that there are always going to be places where people can dump their shit that can't be attacked or taken away from them. But that the folks that want to put citadels up, they got to actually deal with it. They got to protect them. They got to fight them. And it's not going to be so heavily weighed in favor of defenders that they can't, that you can never clear this stuff out. Which leads to one of the other things I wanted to talk about tonight, which was the Answerplex and the jump, all the jump gate and Sino Beacon movement that they're pushing them outside of Keepstar ranges now. That's finally happening next week. And they had said at Vegas they were going to grandfather everything in, and they changed that, which is good because it sucks the whole idea that all of these structures were so impossible to blow up because they were within Keepstar DD range, and you couldn't keep a fleet on there long enough to kill them. As long as the Keepstar was gunned, you were fucked. You're never going to get it done. So I'm happy that they did that. Now, at the same time, I think it sucks. Well, I feel bad for all the logistics guys, poor Dunk and all the, the many true guys that got to go out there and deal with the fucking logistics shit. That sucks because you got to move everything. But at the same time, if it generates a little bit more fights and makes these things a little more risky, I'm okay with that. More shit needs to die. The number one thing in this game right now, more shit needs to die.
Holy shit.
And
So
that's what they need to go to.
So my
57
favorite
months.
thing about the change, and if I understand it correctly, if you don't move your stuff before the change hit, all of it goes offline, right?
Correct.
So
No,
That's
I
right.
think
If
they
you don't
make
move
the
it, you lose
change.
it.
They make the change, but then you have like an additional week. So you don't have to like scramble to make the change for all
Yeah.
the shit that you have set. They
Well,
gave you
12
a
November,
little
they
bit
make
of buffer.
the change, and then after a grace period lasting until early December, and everything offlines.
Yeah. So you
Oh.
have time to move things and then offline the old one,
You
online
got a
the
couple
new one.
weeks.
that sucks. Because I was about to say, the point I was about to go into is if all of your jump gates and Sino jammers go offline because you couldn't move them in time, that just leaves a hostile force to roll into your space and reinforce them if they don't go to low power. And now those jump gates are stuck there, and you can't online another one in the same system. So now you're fucked because it's there already. And that was, I was kind of looking forward to that. But if they have till December, I imagine it's going to get done then. Lame.
Hey Dunk.
Hi, Dunk.
You showed
Dunk,
me the end.
thank you. By the way, I am drinking Blanton's tonight because I can't find this in the Commonwealth of Virginia anymore. But Dunk got it for me in Vegas, and he is a
Commonwealth?
steely-eyed missile man.
You're not just a state.
The whole Commonwealth, you can't find Blanton's anywhere. You can't find Blanton's anywhere in like the East Coast. It's weird. I don't get it.
Spoken like a true Southerner.
So I'm happy I finally got one of my favorite bourbons again. I got to be careful. I'm trying not to drink too much of it tonight on the show because I want to keep this for a while because I know I can't get any more.
I want to keep drinking these vodka Red Bulls, but I've already finished like an extra large Red Bull, and I don't know if that's
I
healthy.
called him a steely-eyed
My
missile
heart.
man, Sadis. It's from Apollo 13.
It'll be fine.
Shit, I made an Apollo reference and fucking Train's going to talk about space again.
Don't do it.
Don't get me started.
Sorry. Please don't talk about
So Elon Musk.
Oh, God.
Mars.
No, Starlink. That's it. No, I'm not going to go into it. I'm just saying November 11th. I think it's Sunday.
Sunday.
That's a Monday.
It's a Monday. Starlink is the first 60 actual, not the test ones, the actual first 60 real operational satellites are supposed to go up. Only like
What are these?
Look at Brisk.
it's the this is not really space stuff. Well, it is space stuff. It's Starlink is Elon Musk's satellite internet thing,
Oh, okay.
but it's not geostationary satellites, which have horrible latency and lag because that's 70,000 kilometers out there. These are going to be low Earth orbit, 200 kilometers up, and but to have that cover the whole world, you gotta have. He's gonna have like, I thought it was gonna be like 11 or 14,000, but now apparently it's gonna be like 30,000+ satellites in a lattice across the entire globe, covering everything, and it will be better latency than fiber, unless whatever you're connected to is very close. Then fiber might be a little bit better, but if the farther away in the world you get, the more efficient it is than fiber. because your signal goes up to the things in space, and then they use laser pulses to communicate between satellites until it gets to the satellite that's over the connection spot you want, and then it beams it down. And
Laser pulses.
the laser pulses. Sorry, Blazing, I know. I'm just saying. In fiber, there's air, there's atmosphere in that cable, and light goes slower through that than it does in a vacuum. So if the light's going through space up in orbit, it's a lot faster than it would be fiber along the ground. Like 50, I think like 50 or 60% faster. So basically, you can connect to the opposite side of the globe at like 50 milliseconds. Pretty fucking good.
Brisk is an old dude. If you keep talking about space shit, we're gonna lose him to a
I know,
nap.
I'm
I need you
sorry.
to
I'm
realize
done.
that.
I'm done with
Internet
space
is a
stuff.
series of tubes.
I'm done with space stuff now. I just like it though.
Oh, are we back? Are we done? Are we done
Yeah, we're
talking about
done. We're
space
done.
shit?
All
Played the
right.
wrap it up music for.
You know, Drayden, you never talk about Elon. You never talk about PayPal like you talk about SpaceX.
Well, he doesn't own PayPal anymore. He sold that a long time ago.
All right, okay, all right.
He
I
was
got it.
he was an old PayPal guy before. I think he was actually it was before it became PayPal. I forget what it was called originally, and then he eventually got rid of it, made a bunch of money. It became PayPal, and then he started up. I don't think was SpaceX his first company. I don't fucking know. I don't know enough.
Tesla, dude.
Oh,
Tesla.
yeah, right. Okay.
I don't think it was Tesla
yeah,
either.
yeah. No, he was doing Tesla and then SpaceX, and now he's got Boring Company, which is like the tunnel, and then he's doing that like
I bought
vacuum.
the flamethrower.
Well, you bought the flamethrower. You have it?
Yeah, I own one.
Dude, you should fire it in your room right now.
I absolutely should not, because that's a fire hazard.
That would be a bad idea.
Is that how you clear the snow in your driveway?
I'm gonna start. So
It
I
should
got it.
be.
I got it in July. So I'm not really looking forward to the fucking winter in North Dakota. But now I have a means to fight back.
That's
A
awesome.
counterplay.
Yeah,
if
yeah. I
you
was
will.
saying he made that for anti-zombie shit, right?
I don't know why he made it.
Well,
Probably
he
'cause he could.
he made it for like the Boring Company. Like he's like, if enough people buy these hats that would help fund the Boring Company, he's like, I'll make a flamethrower for the zombie apocalypse. And then people bought the hats. And he's like, he made the flamethrower. So, and then he's got this like vacuum tube bullet train thing that he's gonna be making. That's supposed to go like 300 miles or 300 or 600 miles per hour. It's supposed to like go. Actually, it might even be more than that. I think it's supposed to go more than Mach 1 because it's in a vacuum tube. So I don't know. So it has no resistance, so it won't put any like pressure on the train itself. I don't know. It's crazy. And then
Sounds dangerous.
Solar City. So he makes solar panels. Now he's doing that cybernetic like processing chip. They're looking at making these processing chips that can be implanted in your brain to help with computing speeds with your brain and stuff, and essentially make your brain a like digital calculator, so you don't have to like.
So he is a Bond villain.
Yeah, so he's basically he's trying to develop cyborgs, and
So he's gonna do all these nice things.
yeah,
Which
I'm
is
with
weird
trains
because he's
and
like
some free
AI
internet.
phobic. isn't he?
Neuralink. Yeah,
And then all of a
Neuralink
sudden
is the
this
company.
lattice of sub-Earth orbit satellites of these
Oh,
brain
yeah.
chips.
So
He's
they
gonna take control of the whole population.
thank you, check. So
Bond
Hyperloop
villain.
Hyperloop is the vacuum train thing, and Neuralink is the chip. And me and Manic are on the same page. Fucking sign us up. Make us. I want to be a cyborg. I'm down with that
No, you're gonna be Elon Musk's
Why?
puppet.
because the Matrix.
Because if done correctly, it represents the next step in human evolution.
Yeah.
Because it'll make it.
Why
I
not
don't really
enhance
wanna-
yourself?
I
I mean,
don't really want to talk about this because I just had to write a huge project paper on it for school, and I don't want to do it again.
yeah.
Is this how we defeat the AI when Skynet becomes self-aware?
I will probably wait a year or two to make sure there's no weird defects that come out later on for the first people that get the chips. I'll let Manic have that happen.
Drayden, I will tell you right now, it will cause cancer because everything causes cancer.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. It's just cancer.
He already smokes.
I don't. Why do you keep thinking I smoke, Rain?
Well, you did.
I did, but I haven't.
This is the only reason why you two aren't married is because you smoke.
Yeah, like you were saying that the other night. It's like, oh, you smoke. It's like I haven't smoked cigarettes
That was in our
in.
heated discussion of why Drayden and I aren't married when everyone
Yeah,
was howling
because I'm a
on.
smoker. I haven't smoked cigarettes in like what 8 years. I
So,
did.
so there you go, Rain.
I-
you have no excuses anymore.
I
You
did
guys have to get
vape.
married
I did
now.
vape.
Was
but
this in the?
Use a vape.
I quit vaping in July. So
Was
I
this
don't
after
do
the
either now.
discussion of how we got arrested? Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it
It
was.
was.
Yeah.
It was.
Last
It has
week's
been
Sorry,
almost
arguing.
an entire year.
last week's after show was a mess. I I'm surprised I didn't delete
We
that
were a mess.
immediately.
That was so much fun.
I mean, it was fun. Like, I eventually went to like tribal fucking Viking and Mongolian rock music videos. I'm not even kidding.
I think I left before that happened. I left
Okay,
at,
yeah, no.
right at the interrogation whenever he asked. It's like,
No, it
he was
was
like, "Don't you do operator shit?" I'm like, "What are you talking about right now?"
I don't even. I had to go.
Hey,
Well,
are you guys gonna tell more jail? Wait, we have to do TV time and then we'll do jail stories.
I was about to ask because
I'm-
we got 10 minutes left in the show.
I'm
Rain
out of
was
jail
talking
story.
about
I've only
TV
been in
stuff.
jail like twice, Rain. You can't do that many more jail stories.
Rain, what show are you watching that you thought was so amazingly good that you want to tell us about?
Do you really want to know?
I do. Besides, I want you guys to get married, but I want you to tell me
So
about the TV
I
show.
was watching MTV's X on the Beach, then MTV's Jersey Shore Family Reunion season 3, and now I'm watching The Americans season 3.
X on the beach.
After
What's that?
watching the first season of Jack Ryan, where he didn't have a beard, and I was waiting the whole
What the
fucking
fuck
season
is this
for...
Terminator?
Yeah.
Yeah, because Skynet's becoming self-aware.
Oh.
Okay, just making sure. I was like, this is either an N64 video game or
That's
it's
like
Terminator.
Terminator 1. You got to go with the Terminator 2, like the dun dun
No.
dun dun
Dun, dun, dun.
dun 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 dun. Yeah, oh, that's power.
No, you go with the 80s one.
Yeah.
So shows are you guys watching and or looking forward to?
I don't know. Well, I was watching Jack Ryan. I watched a couple episodes of season 2 so far.
I finished.
Is it good? Does he have a beard?
Yeah. No, he doesn't have a beard. Yet.
What the fuck? This
It's-
is such a. I wanted Jim to have
Beards
a beard.
grow.
That's all the trailers show him with the beard. So where's
It's
his
gonna
beard?
grow in. It's the first 2 episodes. There's no beard. There's gonna be a beard. Let it
Is it like
happen.
that show 24 where he just grows a beard through the whole show?
No. It's not like that.
Hmm.
I wanted 24 to end with a season where he just does nothing all day.
It's like there's a bomb.
24
Fuck
hours.
it.
Like, it's not like it's a day off. It's Sunday.
Yeah.
Starts at 9 in the morning. Gets the paper. Has a coffee. That's the first episode. It's over.
Yeah. That's about
Next
it.
week, has a shower.
An hour-long shower.
Well, like a shower and then like.
Oh,
shaves
I
and
mean, like I was like, hey, those are nice
No.
sometimes, you know,
picks
when,
out his
when the
outfit
mood's
for the
right.
day. That's the episode. Yeah, gardening. He mows the lawn one day. For like 2 episodes, mows the lawn.
Yep.
You talking about Jack Ryan?
24.
24.
I really want to watch. I really want to watch the Jack Ryan show, and I watched the first 2 episodes. But I guess I don't know. I am such an old school Tom Clancy fan, and I've actually met him and talked to him in the past before he passed away. I miss the old Jack Ryan. I miss the Alec Baldwin Hunt for Red October. I mean, Hunt for Red October by far is the greatest movie ever made in the history of the
But
world.
this is all pre-Hunt for Red October.
I don't know. In terms of Tom Clancy movies, if they're not tied, then Sum of All Fears is probably one of my favorite Tom Clancy movies.
It was
'Cause it's
okay. I
got-
liked Patriot Games, but
The
you know,
dude who
Harrison
played the
Ford's Jack
president was really
Ryan is
good.
not as good as Alec Baldwin's Jack Ryan. And
Morgan
it pains me to
Freeman
say
as
that
the,
because I love
as
Harrison
the
Ford.
director of the CIA was really good, and then I always forget Buddy's name. The dude who played Jack Ryan in Sum of All Fears.
Oh, it was Ben
Ben
Affleck.
Affleck.
Ben
Ben
Affleck.
Affleck.
Thank you. That was
I
just
mean,
an all-around good movie, and the dude
I
who
like-
played the Russian president was really good
But
too.
the thing is with the new show, it's they've taken so many liberties and made so many changes. Like Admiral Greer being Bunk from The Wire, just I can't wrap my brain around it. It's just weird. And I love Jim being being Jack Ryan. That's cool. I think that fits.
I love.
And I like that he's an Orioles fan and everything. That makes me happy because that was true in the books. But it's like, I don't know. It's not Alec Baldwin. That's my Jack Ryan. And I can't get my head around it. So I haven't finished watching the first season yet. But everybody keeps saying that the second season was so good. I want to see it. So eventually I'll have to watch. I haven't finished watching Westworld either. Mrs. Brisk and I. Here's what we do: we pick a show, we start to watch it, we watch them like 1 or 2 at a time. My wife falls asleep every single time we watch shows together. It's like a rule. So then I stop watching because I want her to watch the rest of the show so she's up to date on the plot, and that means I just stop watching. So we've done it like 4 different series we started watching and never finished. So I haven't finished Westworld. I haven't finished Jack Ryan. We were watching Man in the High Castle. We stopped watching that. I mean, it's every time.
I'm terrible
Every
at shows.
time. She's asleep right now. It's not even 11 o'clock. And she's passed out halfway through this show.
Dirk's not on here. That's why she's
Yeah.
not
That's
watching.
probably actually
Yeah.
true, actually.
It's like,
That
oh,
makes
he's out
sense.
at the bars. deleted.
She's probably down at that bar. She hopped a train already.
It's possible. I should go see if she's upstairs or not.
It's like, honey, are you home?
Daredevil was great. I didn't finish Daredevil. Punisher was great. I did finish Punisher. I haven't watched the
I
last
finished
season of
Punisher
Luke
as well.
Cage. I haven't watched the last season of Jessica Jones. I missed a lot of this
I
stuff.
just don't really watch
So-
TV. I think I just finished The Boys a week or two ago. That was pretty good.
I did watch all of the boys, but I watched that by myself, so I could just binge it
Same.
when everybody was out in the house.
Undead Logic saying Expanse hype. Expanse coming. The new season of the Expanse is coming out soon. Like that's
didn't
gonna be really.
watch
That
good.
was another thing. Like Expanse, I read all the books. So when the books and the show started diverging a little bit, I got tired of it, so I stopped watching. So I like midway through the first season, I stopped watching.
I'm surprised I haven't watched The Expanse. It seems like it'd be right up my alley, but
It would be Drayden. You should watch it.
You really should like it,
I
Drake.
got the
You would
Epstein
really like
drive.
it. I mean, you would be talking about space shit
Or
constantly.
am I
again.
thinking
It
The
would drive
Expanse?
us all
What am I
crazy.
thinking of? Is it The Expanse, or maybe I'm thinking of? Is it-
Epstein Drive was Expanse. That's right.
Okay, yeah. That's the drive on the ships that they use. It's not the Epstein from
I thought you
Epstein.
were making like a joke of
No.
like, people dying,
They
but,
called it the
I
Epstein.
thought you were making like a Welcome Back Kotter
like
joke.
getting
No.
Clinton or whatever.
No.
But you're too young to know what that even is.
I only know this because I've watched some Scott Manley videos. But the Epstein drive is the engines on the ships in The Expanse, and it's named after like a Dr. Epstein that made it, and it's
Yeah, who killed himself making it, by the way.
oh.
Yeah.
I forget it. Like I remember, I watched a video from Scott Manley that explained how sci-fi wise that they work, but I forget. They're gonna be in the new Kerbal space program too. They have Epstein drives and Orion drives.
And the Epstein Drive didn't kill itself, FYI.
Oof.
Oh,
I gotta get that in there.
Left.
All right, I'm out of shit to talk about.
Weren't you gonna talk
I mean-
about some Rick and Morty, Blazing?
Why would we do that?
Supposedly it comes out. The new season drops 10 November in the United States.
So 2 days from now.
2 days from now.
Nice.
I want to talk about shit that dropped that didn't drop correctly. I'll tell you that.
Tell us.
Did you guys? Have any of you guys played Red Dead Redemption 2?
Nope.
No, I watched a little bit of
No.
some people streaming it, but I think I watched
All right.
Sips play a little bit of it.
That game is probably one of the best games I've ever played. I loved it. It's so good. The soundtrack is amazing. They did a great job. It's a perfect sequel that leads right into the first game. It's like a prequel that leads right into the first game. It was one of the best games I've ever played. They announced that they're porting it to PC. I was okay with that. And I'm one of these dumbasses where, yes, I beat it on PS4, but I'll play it on PC just to have it on my PC so I can play it here. The game launched on November the 5th. And it didn't work for half the people that tried to log in. I couldn't log in. I waited for like months for this thing to come in. And it didn't work.
Speaking
And
of shit
Rockstar
that-
said nothing to anybody about it.
Speaking of shit,
And I'm
that doesn't
bitching
work.
at them on Twitter, and and people are bitching at them all over the place. And the first day runs by, they do a hot fix at the end of the day, and nothing. It still didn't fucking work. Second day, still nothing. They're not telling anybody that we understand there's an issue. They didn't even say that. They gave less information than CCP's given out about Falcon quitting.
Oh.
Oof.
And it's been awful. And then finally, at the end of the day, on the second day after it was supposed to have launched, they finally did a patch that fixed it for me and for everybody else. And it's like, guys, why was this not ready on launch day? Why is it so hard? Do you not test any of this shit on computers outside of your own to make sure that stuff works? I don't get it. I was annoyed as hell.
The game that came out that a lot of people are playing right now, that Outer Worlds, it's basically like almost like a Fallout type game. A lot of people are loving it, and it looks really cool, and I wanted to play it, and I guess there's a way you could just buy this Xbox Live thing or something. It's like $5 a month, and you can just get the game and play it. The downside is that it's on PC, but only for Windows 10. My computer still has 8.1 on it. I have a Windows 10 disc
What
with
the
a key, and I can install Windows 10, but
That's
I've
from
just
Hump
been
Product October, man.
procrastinating because
No,
I just
Drayden.
don't want to reformat and reinstall every goddamn thing and reset up. It's gonna be an entire weekend to do that shit, and I'm procrastinating. But I can't. But you can only play Outer Worlds. It's only compatible with
That's a
Windows 10.
boomer thing to say right there.
I know. It's like I have 8.1. I can get 10. I have 10. It's literally in this drawer right now, disk with a key. Fuck, man.
I don't want to reinstall.
No, backing up everything, reinstalling, like putting Windows on, reinstalling everything, resetting up all your settings, redoing everything. I mean, even if you, because I've done it
So
before.
think of it like a fresh start. Think of it like moving
Every
into a new
time you
apartment.
could even save your profiles and your setting. They never come back exactly the way they were. And you
No,
have to
mine
reset
did.
up
When
everything.
when I upgraded, and I'm a complete fucking idiot at computers, I just clicked the button and everything like just magically fixed itself. It
So
was
here's
nice.
the thing with that. I did the free upgrade, and at the time my internet was having issues. It was actually at the head end of the foot end of my ISP, out the box at the apartment complex. But I thought it was something because the issue started this like I was like, okay, I'll do the Windows 10 upgrade. Upgraded, and it was just a weird coincidence that is when, because I think a line cracked and they're having a bunch of ingress at the foot end of my apartment complex. But right when that happened was right when I installed Windows 10. I'm like, dude, I'm having like the internet's fucking up. I'm having like 50% outbound packet loss on everything, and I thought it was something with Windows 10. And I tried changing all this stuff. I tried shutting off the file sharing thing that Windows 10 tries to get you to do to save Microsoft server space and everything. And I was like, fuck this. Windows 10 sucks. So I went back to 8.1. And then eventually, like a month later, found out that, oh, it's my ISP. Their shit was fucked up. But by the time that happened, the free upgrade thing, the deadline was passed, and I couldn't do it again. But at that point, I had a Windows 10 disk, but I was like, yeah, but I'm not, fuck it. I don't want to do that again, because now it's no longer an upgrade. It's I have to reformat my drives, back everything up, reformat my drives, and just reinstall Windows from a clean slate, and then put everything back on it, and I just haven't wanted to do that yet. I have to do it at some point, though. Fuck. 8.1.
Yeah, you do.
Although
We are also
8.1's
at
not
our-
bad. It's
8.1's trash compared to 7 and 10.
I don't know. It
But we're at
doesn't
our
seem any
time,
different to
so-
me. Programs run. That's all I use it for.
We're at our time.
Oh yeah. Okay, we're out. We gotta go. Shots for the road.
Shots for the road. Later,
And,
bitches.
Hold on. Is Crab Rave copyright?
Oh, you better believe it.
God
Yeah, it's
damn
super
it.
copyright.
Can you just
Spinning records, right?
Can you just indulge us this one time, LB?
No, we could play something else. We could play This Is Eve.
There you go. Play.
Or,
Oh yes.
This is really easy.
Yeah. Play Little Bees.
I don't have Little Bees. And this has a really long build up. This isn't very good.
Does it have all the audio?
Only if you have like the voice
No, it's
comm
just got-
audio.
It's not the song. This is where like
Oh, nice.
it's good for rants.
We're not ranting though. We're saying
We need a
goodbye.
rant.
I know.
See, this is where I should have done my space talk.
Wait, SoundCloud rappers don't have copyrights, right?
Nope.
No. Oh. Hey, there we go. Wait a minute. Shots, bitches, and later, bitches.
Just come and get it straight.